The first thing I did after rebirth was tear up the marriage application my fiancé Lu Yancy was about to submit. In my past life, I desperately clung to Lu Yancy until marriage, only to discover on my deathbed that he'd been secretly involved with Jiang Shuilan for 40 years. Now knowing the truth, I won't make the same foolish mistakes this time. I'll step aside voluntarily and let Lu Yancy be with Jiang Shuilan, the woman who's always occupied his heart. I don't object to Lu Yancy supporting Jiang Shuilan, nor do I mind him giving half his salary to her, but I never expected Jiang Shuilan to be so greedy. She actually had her eyes on my college admission letter. In your dreams, I firmly rejected Jiang Shuilan's unreasonable demand. The day after I rejected Jiang Shuilan's unreasonable demands and had a falling out with Lu Yancy. Lu Yancy and Jiang Shuilan were caught in bed together, in my past life. Oblivious to Lu Yancy's dissatisfaction with our engagement, I happily married him relying on our childhood betrothal. Lu Yancy worked long hours, and both his parents were in poor health. To let Lu Yancy focus on his career, I gave up my chance to attend university and devoted my entire life to caring for his parents and raising our children. In 40 years of marriage, Lu Yancy and I spent no more than 2 years together. Our life was marked by long separations. As a woman, I shouldered it all, nursing aging in-laws above and tending to young children below. You can imagine how hard life was. I always hoped Lu Yancy would voluntarily transfer back to my city to share the burden, but until his dying day, Lu Yancy never came back. I always thought Lu Yancy had no choice, until I learned the truth on my deathbed. Lu Yancy wasn't trapped by circumstances. He simply didn't love me, couldn't bear the sight of his own wife. He wanted to stay far away from me, so he could freely care for his true love, Jiang Shuilan. 1. Behind my back, he secured a job for Jiang Shuilan. The two of them were all lovey-dovey. His southern transfer was entirely for her sake. His northern relocation was likewise for Jiang Shuilan. His heart never strayed from her. Their devotion to each other was absolute and unquestioned. Only on my deathbed did I realize I'd been played for a fool my entire life, reduced to nothing but a pitiful joke. Pulling my college acceptance letter from the bottom of the trunk, I pressed it tightly against my chest as tears of joy streamed down uncontrollably. Thank goodness, there's still time. In my past life, I was hopelessly devoted to Lu Yancy and obsessed with becoming his wife. I foolishly gave up college for so-called love, slaving away at home to care for his ailing parents. This lifetime, such stupidity won't happen again. I'm going to college to build my own future. As for Lu Yancy, isn't he in love with Jiang Shuilan anyway? This lifetime, I'll step away from this entanglement with Lu Yancy and let the star-crossed lovers have their happy ending. Having composed myself, I walked out of the bedroom to find Lu Yancy sitting on the living room chair. On the table before him lay the marriage application he'd prepared but hadn't yet submitted. Lu Yancy stared coldly at the marriage certificate with furrowed brows, not even bothering to glance my way when I approached. In my past life, Lu Yancy had always been distant toward me. I mistook his indifference for natural aloofness, never realizing it was his way of showing dislike. Only when I saw his radiant smile in photos with Jiang Shuilan before dying did I understand. He simply never smiled for me. Lu Yancy frowned at the marriage application before him, clearly reluctant to submit it. The wedding date was set by both families. Though Lu Yancy didn't love me, he was a filial son who wouldn't disobey his parents. Marrying him was considered marrying above my station. My parents desperately wanted me to wed a military officer to elevate our family's status. This wasn't the time to mention breaking up. I had to stop him from submitting that application like he did in our past life, which would legally bind us together. I walked up to him and picked up the marriage application. Let me handle submitting this. Without waiting for his reply, I took the document and walked away. I found a secluded spot, tore the marriage papers to shreds, and tossed them into a nearby sewer. Watching the fragments disappear into the murky water without a trace, I finally exhaled in relief. Don't worry about marriage for now. My immediate focus is preparing for school. My parents always pushed me to marry Lu Yancy quickly. In my past life, when I got into university, they desperately tried to talk me out of attending. They kept preaching about the benefits of marrying him. Back then, I loved Lu Yancy and was easily swayed by their arguments. 2. I wasted my entire life slaving away for him without complaint, yet gained nothing, not even in death. I'll never follow my parents' advice again in this lifetime. No more repeating past mistakes. After clarifying the required university application materials and living expenses, I finally returned to Lu Yancy's place. Approaching the courtyard, I spotted a parked car inside. Then saw Lu Yancy and a young woman stepping out with armfuls of shopping bags. Just like the previous life, Jiang Shuolan was rightfully brought under Lu Yanxi's care without any changes. Lu Yanxi brought Jiang Shuolan to live with him, claiming it was because her brother had sacrificed his life to save him. I always believed Lu Yanxi owed Jiang Shuolan a life debt, so his devotion to her seemed only natural. Had Jiang Shuolan not exposed their true relationship later, I would have remained in the dark until my dying day. I watched indifferently as Lu Yanxi carried Jiang Shuolan's luggage to the room prepared especially for her. Sensing my gaze, Lu Yanxi paused and turned. "You're back," I murmured in agreement as he introduced Jiang Shuolan to me just like in our past life. "This is Jiang Shuolan, my comrade's younger sister. She'll be staying here until she starts college." Until college starts. My heart suddenly skipped a beat. It suddenly dawned on me, the university Jiang Shuolan attended was likely the same university that appeared on my admission letter. In our previous life, I'd never questioned the nature of her relationship with Lu Yanxi. Jiang Shuolan had been brought to live in the compound by Lu Yanxi, and only left for University A after we got married, but when I went to inquire about enrollment today, I carefully reviewed University A's admission quota list. There were only 3 spots, one was mine, and the other 2 went to male students I didn't know. Jiang Shuolan wasn't on University A's admission list, so how did she qualify to attend? Back then, the national college entrance exams had just resumed a few years prior, and university slots could still be transferred. A sudden thought struck me. Could it be that Jiang Shuolan only got the chance to attend university because I gave up my spot by marrying him? If that's the case, did Lu Yanxi have a hand in this? Did he marry me just so his beloved could go to college, using me as his dutiful homemaker while Jiang Shuolan, who wasn't even qualified, got the opportunity because I stepped aside? I can't bear to think Lu Yanxi could be this despicable. But then I remembered Jiang Shuolan's smug words at my deathbed in my past life. "You've rightfully monopolized Yanxi for over 4 decades. Now it's my turn to enjoy our golden years with him." Jiang Shuolan's shameless pride in being the other woman all these years makes me think this way again. Watching Jiang Shuolan cling to Lu Yanxi without an ounce of discretion, I sneered inwardly, casually remarking, "You two carry on, I'll handle dinner." I hadn't gone far when Jiang Shuolan's saccharine, pitiful voice called out behind me, "Brother Yanxi, did I interrupt you and sister by coming unannounced? I feel like sister isn't very happy to see me." Her sickeningly sweet tone made my lips twist in disgust. My revulsion instantly peaked. Without turning around, Lu Yanxi's voice reached my ears with perfect clarity. "Don't worry, I promised your brother I'd take good care of you, and I won't go back on my word. As long as I'm here, no one will dare mistreat you." Defending her already, my past self must have been completely clueless. Lu Yanxi and Jiang Shuolan returned 2 hours later. I'd already prepared the meal when Jiang Shuolan made a show of coming to the kitchen to help serve dishes. She proactively served rice, but only filled 2 bowls, one for herself and one for Lu Yanxi. Her intentions were as plain as day. Pretending not to notice her little scheme, I nonchalantly served myself some rice, sat down, and dug in heartily. Lu Yanxi and Jiang Shuolan took their seats as well, but both froze when they saw the dishes on the table. The table held 4 dishes: mapo tofu, spicy potatoes, fiery spare ribs, and the only soup, string bean soup, which also had red chili peppers floating on its surface. Both Lu Yanxi and Jiang Shuolan prefer light, mild-flavored dishes. Seeing the spread of spicy and aromatic dishes, Lu Yanxi turned his gaze toward me. I ignored him and kept eating. In my past life, I'd always cooked bland meals tailored to his taste to accommodate him, but after rebirth, I refused to compromise. Watching me relish the bold flavors without sparing him or Jiang Shuolan a thought, Lu Yanxi's expression darkened. Jiang Shuolan's eyes welled up with tears as she gazed pitifully at Lu Yanxi. Eventually, Lu Yanxi couldn't take it anymore and stood up. "Shuolan can't handle spicy food. Skip the chili next time. I'll take her out for dinner today." I kept eating indifferently, not even sparing a glance at Lu Yanxi or Jiang Shuolan. With those 2 annoying people gone, I happily devoured my meal until I was stuffed. After dinner, I cleared the table and went out for a short walk to aid digestion. Since Lu Yanxi and Jiang Shuolan hadn't returned, I went back to my room, closed the door, and opened my trunk. I took out the food coupons and money we'd saved for the wedding and began carefully calculating our budget. This was the nest egg Lu Yanxi and I had prepared for our marriage, partly from my parents' hard-saved dowry, and partly from his family's betrothal gifts. I'm going to college soon, travel expenses, food, everything costs money, and I have no intention of letting Lu Yanxi touch a single penny of it. In my past life, after marrying Lu Yanxi, all that money ended up being handed over to fund Jiang Shuolan's education. I won't make that same mistake again. Every cent and ration coupon stays with me. No free rides for anyone this time, after securing the money, ration coupons, and admission letter. I cleared out all the wedding preparations stored in the trunk. The bright red bed sheets, duvet covers, and pillowcases are now useless. Since there won't be a wedding, I might as well give these things away. Aunt Wu from the compound has always been kind to me, and her daughter's getting married this month too. I packed everything up and gave it to her. Aunt Wu was surprised when I brought the gifts over. She asked me a few questions, but I brushed her off with vague excuses. 3. When I got home, Lu Yanxi still hadn't returned. After washing up, I went to my room and marked a red check on the wall calendar. Just 20 more days until I leave for school. I slept soundly that night, completely unaware when Lu Yanxi came home. The next morning, I made myself a bowl of noodles. Lu Yanxi only emerged from his room as I was eating. He looked genuinely startled when I ignored him completely while eating noodles alone. Can't blame Lu Yanxi for that reaction. I used to be head over heels for him. I used to cater to his every need, never cooking spicy food since he disliked it. Knowing his stomach issues, I'd wake up early every morning to make him millet porridge. I'd walk him to the compound gate every morning when he left for work, then wait eagerly at the entrance to welcome him home each evening. To me, he was like an emperor on his throne, while I played the role of his dutiful servant. No wonder Lu Yanxi felt unsettled when his devoted servant suddenly stopped prioritizing his every need. When Lu Yanxi realized I was completely ignoring him, he had no choice but to come over himself. Shualan isn't familiar with this area, so I took her out for dinner last night and showed her around before coming back. Is Lu Yanxi actually explaining himself to me? Now that's something you don't see every day. I mumbled through a mouthful of noodles. Of course. Looking after her is only natural. No need to report to me. Lu Yanxi froze for a moment, clearly stunned by my reaction. After all, I used to love him so much. Lu Yanxi has striking good looks, and plenty of admirers outside. I used to keep a close eye on Lu Yanxi. It would upset me if any girl talked to him for more than a few words. My sudden indifference toward his affairs with Jiang Shualan made Lu Yanxi sense something was off. He studied me intently before continuing. Shualan's brother is gone because of me. From now on, she's my sister, and I'll always look after her. Half of my salary and ration coupons will go to her. In my past life, after marrying Lu Yanxi, I stayed home caring for his ailing parents while he gave me only 10 yuan out of his 40 yuan monthly salary. I toiled from dawn till dusk, taking on odd jobs whenever possible to make ends meet. Yet he gave half his paycheck to Jiang Shualan. How utterly devoted he was to her, neglecting his parents, abandoning his wife and child. His heart belonged solely to that Jiang Shualan. I was seething with rage, wishing I could slap that handsome face of his with the brutal truth. I held myself back. Fine, you handle it. I've got no objections. What do I care if Lu Yanxi gives Jiang Shualan half his work assignments and ration coupons? He could hand over his entire salary to her for all I care. It's not like I'll marry him anyway, let alone waste my life tending to his parents. Let's see how his sick parents will afford medicine and meals when he's given all his money to Jiang Shualan. I wolfed down the noodles and tidied up before heading back to my room. Yesterday I only sent out the wedding bedding set, sheets, duvet covers, and pillowcases. Today I'm clearing out everything in my room. Those college entrance exam books are useless now. I'm selling them all. Everything I'd prepared for Lu Yanxi was either given away or thrown out. I kept the door shut while silently tidying up, completely unaware when Lu Yanxi left. I gathered the books to sell as scrap, then took out the handmade cloth shoes I'd made for Lu Yanxi to sell too. Whatever couldn't be sold got unceremoniously bundled up and tossed in the trash. Then I tore up all the red wedding decorations and threw them away. After finishing everything, I picked up a pen and crossed off another day on the calendar. There were 19 days left until school started. So I needed to get my supplies ready. I went to the supply and marketing cooperative, never expecting to run into Lu Yanxi and Jiang Shualan there. The two were shopping together like a loving married couple. Lu Yanxi was so considerate. He even bought Jiang Shualan thermal underwear for autumn. With a sweet, coquettish smile, Jiang Shualan said, "Brother Yanxi, this is more than enough. No need to buy anything else. I heard the place where you're studying gets quite cold. Better to have a couple extra sets just in case." The two chatted intimately, completely oblivious to their surroundings. Jiang Shualan spotted me first and called out with an air of superiority, "Xingnan, you're shopping too." Only when he heard Jiang Shualan's voice did Lu Yanxi finally notice me. My half-smile as I watched them made him visibly uncomfortable. "Shualan's starting college soon. I'm just helping her get some supplies," he explained, as he spoke, his gaze drifted to the stationery and paper I was holding. "I've already bought it for Shualan. No need for you to get another." What made him think I'd ever do these things for Jiang Shuilan? Ignoring Lu Yanxi, I gathered my purchased stationery and walked away without a word. Lu Yanxi chased after me, calling my name twice, but I quickened my pace without turning back. Jiang Shuilan's timid voice came from behind. Brother Yanxi, it seems Xingman Jiajia really doesn't like me. I went to buy a few more things before finally heading home. When I opened the door, I found Lu Yanxi had already prepared dinner. Now that's something you don't see every day. When I got back, Lu Yanxi invited me for dinner. Glancing at the bland dishes on the table, I shook my head. I've already eaten out. Lu Yanxi's expression froze, but I ignored him and went straight to my room. A few minutes later, Lu Yanxi knocked on my door. I opened it. What is it? We need to talk. What is there to talk about? I asked coldly. Xingnan, are you upset about Shuilan? I'm only looking after her because of her brother. That's your business. It has nothing to do with me, so stop bringing it up repeatedly. Well, noticing my impatience, Lu Yanxi softened his tone. Xingnan, we're getting married soon. We'll be family. What concerns me concerns you. Still treating me like the same old pushover from my past life, aren't they? I was growing increasingly impatient. Utterly repulsed by Lu Yanxi's pretentious act. Lu Yanxi, have you ever really thought about us? I believe we should seriously reconsider this marriage. I was about to call off the wedding plans with Lu Yanxi when, mid-sentence, a knock interrupted us. Jiang Shuilan whimpered tearfully. Brother Yanxi, I sprained my ankle. It hurts so much. Lu Yanxi helped the injured Jiang Shuilan leave, and never returned. Naturally, I didn't wait for him either. After washing up, I locked the door and went to bed. I slept soundly all night, and the first thing I did upon waking was mark a check on the calendar. After freshening up with a refreshing wash, I stepped out to find Lu Yanxi had returned with breakfast, steamed buns, soy milk, and fried dough sticks. Spotting me, he flashed a rare smile and said, "You're up." I gave a quiet and he handed me the food, saying, "This is for you." I took it and began eating in silence as he settled beside me. Last night, Shuilan sprained her ankle and then ran a high fever. I was too worried to leave, so I stayed at the hospital with her overnight, as I should. I replied coldly. I'd always greeted him with a smile before, never with such icy detachment. Lu Yanxi seemed unable to take it anymore. Xingnan, are you mad at me? No, really, I'm not. Seriously, nothing to be mad about. We'd be going our separate ways in just over 10 days anyway. Seeing me admit I wasn't angry, Lu Yanxi's smile deepened. I noticed you bought stationery yesterday. Was that for Shuilan? Why don't we deliver it to her together later? I looked up at him, enunciating each word deliberately. Lu Yanxi, Jiang Shuilan has your attention. That's more than enough. My purchases are for personal use and concern no one else. His expression darkened after that rebuff. Paying no heed to his mood, I stood up. I need to step out for a bit. I went to the train station to inquire about tickets. Since University A gets bitterly cold, I bought myself 2 sets of thermal underwear and toiletries before heading home. To my surprise, Lu Yanxi was actually home and even reached out to help when he saw me carrying bags. I dodged his hand and carried them to my room myself. He followed me in, asking, "Your room seems emptier than before. Got rid of what I don't need." Noticing my coldness, he paused before saying, "The wedding's in a few days. Let me take you shopping tomorrow." Well, this is a first. I outright refused. No thanks. Seeing how utterly indifferent and cold I was toward him, Lu Yanxi rubbed his hands together before finally forcing out the words. "There's one more thing I need to discuss with you, about your college plans." I stopped organizing my things and looked up at him quietly. After a pause, Lu Yanxi continued, "Here's what I think. After we're married, you won't have time for college, since you can't attend anyway. Why not voluntarily give up your spot to someone who really needs it?" Lu Yanxi's words left me momentarily stunned, my mind going completely blank. I'd only suspected Jiang Shuilan got into college because I withdrew, but after hearing Lu Yanxi say that, I'm practically certain of it now. Those 2 despicable bastards, how dare they? Rage propelled me to my feet as I glared at Lu Yanxi with venom in my eyes, enunciating each word through gritted teeth. "Give it to whom?" Lu Yanxi recoiled in shock. "You, what's gotten into you? I'm just trying to discuss this with you." Discuss? I couldn't help but laugh bitterly. In my past life, I'd given him my heart and soul, worshipped the ground he walked on. That's why Lu Yanxi made this decision without even consulting me. I owe him no loyalty in this lifetime. He only brought this up because he had no other choice. "Lu Yanxi, how can you be so shameless?" I enunciated every word to Lu Yanxi. "I won't give up my university spot. Earn your own admission. There's no shortcut through me." Stunned by my intensity, Lu Yanxi stammered, "I just thought, with our marriage, you wouldn't have time for university. Then let's just call off the wedding." I snarled the words at Lu Yanxi through gritted teeth. His face darkened with fury as he glared at me. Don't push it, you were the one who proposed marriage, and now you're backing out. What do you take me for? What do you think marriage is? What a relief, I scoffed bitterly. Stop pretending. If you had any decency, would you have treated me like that in our past life? It's not the time to burn bridges with Lu Yanxi yet. Biting back my anger, I quickly packed my bag. I need to go home for a few days. Lu Yanxi followed me for a few steps. Why the sudden decision to go home? 5. I miss my parents. Without waiting for his response, I hurried downstairs and left. I plan to stay at home for a while until the new semester begins. My parents were thrilled to see me back home, especially my mom. She kept pulling me aside, prying about every little detail of my relationship with Lu Yanxi. I just laughed it off and dodged her questions, knowing I'd need to gently break the news about not marrying Lu Yanxi eventually. I casually brought up Jiang Xuelan on the 7th day. My mom immediately became alert, a single woman having him take care of her. That's trouble brewing. You'd better hurry back and keep an eye on him. Yanxi is quite the catch. What'll you do if someone snatches him away? Worst case, we break up and I find someone else. Don't talk nonsense. Where on earth would you find another guy like Yanxi with his looks and career? Mom treated Lu Yanxi like the golden goose, refusing to let me stay at home and forcing me to return. So I got kicked out by my mom and had nowhere to go but back to Lu Yanxi's place. When I opened the door and heard noises from my room, I froze. Who'd break in broad daylight? I bolted to my bedroom door, only to gasp at the scene inside. My room was ransacked, every single thing turned upside down. Jiang Xuelan remained oblivious to my presence, rummaging through drawers and boxes in my room, even flipping over the quilt while muttering to herself, how could it not be here? Where on earth did I put it? I snapped sharply. What are you doing? Who gave you permission to go through my things? Startled by my voice, Jiang Xuelan turned around, yet remarkably regained her composure almost instantly upon seeing me. What kind of question is that? Of course Brother Yanxi invited me here. While I was away, Lu Yanxi actually brought Jiang Xuelan to live in our home. That shameless pair really has no boundaries. My eyes burned with rage. Jiang Xuelan, have you no shame? Get out of my room this instant. Jiang Xuelan looked completely unbothered. Oh, are you mad? Let me tell you the truth. While you were gone, Brother Yanxi and I lived together. He treated me so well, making breakfast every morning, cooking dinner at night, even taking me for walks. I must say, Brother Yanxi is incredibly attentive. Suppressing my rage, I sneered. So you're in love with Lu Yanxi, want to marry him? Jiang Xuelan's expression froze momentarily at my blunt exposure of her secret. I glared coldly at her. Don't you know he's getting married? Aren't you ashamed to live with an engaged man? Do you really not care about the gossip? Why should I care? Brother Yanxi and I are a perfect match made in heaven. You should look in the mirror. Are you even worthy of him? That childhood betrothal is just futile nonsense. He told me himself, if it weren't for your parents pressuring him and his filial piety, he'd never marry you. I believe these are Lu Yanxi's true feelings, but that doesn't give Jiang Xuelan the right to use them against me. All this nonsense just boils down to your jealousy over me marrying Lu Yanxi, doesn't it? You say I'm not good enough for him. Fine, I admit I'm not his equal, but are you so sure you're any better suited? Take a good look in the mirror. Right now we're in the same boat, no job, no education, neither of us is superior to the other. That's just your opinion. I'll be starting university soon, and once I graduate, I'll be on equal footing with Yanxi while you'll remain nothing. I stared at her coldly. Starting university? Which prestigious institution would that be? Where's your acceptance letter? Care to show it to me? Jiang Xuelan was caught off guard by my question, stammering, why should I show you? Unlike you, I'm definitely going to college. Just wait and see. Panic flickered across Jiang Xuelan's face. Though she tried to appear composed, her darting eyes gave her away. She must be up to something shady. What in my room could possibly be worth this risk? I glared at my ransacked room, then at Jiang Xuelan's vile expression. I feel sick to my stomach. How could anyone be so shameless? I glared coldly at Jiang Xuelan. Get out right now. What are you gonna do if I don't? Jiang Xuelan taunted me. Brother Yanxi asked me to move in. He said he'd take care of me personally, that he's sick of you, that the sight of you makes him nauseous. The words of young Jiang Xuelan overlapped with those of her 50-year-old self. Shameless people never change their ways, not in this life nor the last. I scoffed. Lu Yanxi actually told you such things. You two must be truly kindred spirits. Of course, Brother Yanxi doesn't love you. He only agreed to marry you under pressure. If you had any self-respect, you'd withdraw voluntarily instead of making things difficult for him. What gives you the right to tell me to back off? Who do you think you are? if we're talking about shamelessness, you take the crown without competition. At least I'm Lu Yanxi's rightful fiancé. What exactly are you? I glared at Jiang Shuilan and enunciated every word. Jiang Shuilan, I know exactly what's going through your mind. You're just waiting for my absence to crawl into Lu Yanxi's bed, aren't you? Your whole face screams, I want to sleep with Lu Yanxi. Do you think people can't see through you? Listen here, you vile creature. I won't let you get away with this. Exposed so bluntly, Jiang Shuilan flushed crimson with rage and lunged at me to strike. There was no way I'd let her hit me. A quick sidestep sent her tumbling to the floor with a thud. Before I could savor the sight of her humiliating faceplant, Jiang Shuilan's wails pierced the air. Wah, you're bullying me. It hurts so bad. Her lightning-fast change of expression stunned me. Before I could process it, Lu Yanxi's stormy face appeared. Jiang Shuilan made her accusation right in front of me. The moment sister came back, she started cursing me without reason, called me shameless for seducing you. When I talked back, she hit me. Look at all these bruises. Wah, Lu Yanxi bought her story completely, veins bulging on his forehead as he roared at me. Li Xingnan, how could you go this far? Jiang Shuilan feigned injury, and Lu Yanxi carried her away with visible distress. The room fell silent as I stared at the chaotic mess on the floor, my emotions in turmoil. I always believed it was only after I married Lu Yanxi and gave up my university spot that Jiang Shuilan got the chance to attend college. But if that's the case, why was Jiang Shuilan rummaging through my belongings like a thief? There's nothing in my room except the admission letter and ration coupons. 6. Jiang Shuilan definitely isn't rummaging around to steal money or coupons. After all, Lu Yanxi gives her half his salary. She wouldn't stoop to stealing. So, could she be looking for my admission letter? Why was she looking for my college admission letter? A thought I'd never considered suddenly occurred to me. Could it be that Jiang Shuilan got into college not because I withdrew and freed up a spot, but by stealing my identity? No wonder my admission letter mysteriously disappeared from the trunk in my past life. Since I'd given up on college in my past life, I didn't think much about not finding the admission letter. Looking back now, could Jiang Shuilan have used my admission letter to attend university under my name? College admissions weren't as strict back then. It's entirely possible Jiang Shuilan impersonated me. I also remember Lu Yanxi would follow Jiang Shuilan wherever her job took her. Could it be that in their past lives, they were actually living together as husband and wife all along? I was trapped at home my entire life, so I never learned the truth until the day I died. I won't let history repeat itself in this lifetime. Lu Yanxi came home very late and immediately knocked on my door. Xingnan, we need to talk. I opened the door. What's this about? Jiang Shuilan, I didn't hit her. She was rummaging through my things, so I told her to leave. Then she attacked me first and ended up tripping over her own feet. I've got a voice for a reason. No way I'm staying silent just to get framed by Jiang Shuilan and interrogated by Lu Yanxi. I'm laying out the facts up front. Whether he believes me is his call. To my surprise, Lu Yanxi showed no intention of standing up for Jiang Shuilan. There's nothing between Jiang Shuilan and me, Lu Yanxi sighed, reaching for my hand. I took several steps back to avoid his touch. His face registered shock. After all, I'd been shamelessly clinging to him before. I'd happily grab his hand even when he didn't offer it, so why would I refuse when he initiated? My bluntness left Lu Yanxi speechless, a wounded expression crossing his face. Xingnan, there's nothing between me and Jiang Shuilan. I only see her as a younger sister. Don't overthink it. Really, I sneered at Lu Yanxi. Had I not gone through those things in my past life, I might have believed him, but now, I don't trust a single word he says. Xingnan, whether you believe me or not, I need to tell you, you're the only one I want to marry. My care for Jiang Shuilan is purely out of responsibility. She won't be staying here long. She'll soon leave for university. Could you please, for my sake, try to get along with her for a while? My doubts remained unresolved. Did Jiang Shuilan take my university spot by replacing me, or did she outright steal my admission letter to assume my identity? Does Lu Yanxi know about this? Could he have personally orchestrated all this? Even if Jiang Shuilan got hold of my admission letter, she'd still need forged documents to impersonate me, right? Jiang Shuilan definitely couldn't obtain those documents alone. But with Lu Yanxi's help, that's a different story. At this thought, I asked casually, which university did Jiang Shuilan attend? Shuilan said it was University A, so we went to the same school. I added, did you see her admission letter? Actually no, but Shuilan had excellent grades. Getting into University A was only natural for her. Lu Yanxi's expression looks completely normal, with no telltale signs of lying. Then again, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. He wore the same poker face when deceiving me in our past life. I need to get to the bottom of Jiang Shualan's college situation. To find out whether Jiang Shualan got into university, I just need to ask around. Jiang Shualan has quite a few relatives from her hometown living around here. I'll ask around tomorrow to get the details. Early the next morning, I was awakened by knocking at my door. When I opened the door, Lu Yanxi was standing there. "Breakfast is ready," he said. "Come eat." I gave a curt nod and went to wash up with visible indifference. Lu Yanxi trailed behind me, making small talk. "What do those check marks on your calendar mean?" "Nothing special." Noticing my cold shoulder, Lu Yanxi kept his eyes fixed on me. I pretended not to notice, brushing past him to sit down and start breakfast. Lu Yanxi sat down as well, watching me while having breakfast. He clearly had something to say, but I had nothing to discuss with him. After quickly finishing breakfast, I stood up. "I need to step out for something." "I'll come with," Lu Yanxi unexpectedly offered, but I didn't give him the chance. "Why don't you go check on Jiang Shualan, see if she's had breakfast or needs your help? You did promise her brother you'd look after her. If anything happens to her, you'll have hell to pay." Without waiting to see Lu Yanxi's reaction, I turned and walked away briskly. I sought out fellow soldiers from Jiang Shualan's hometown to inquire about her family situation. Her brother was a martyr, quite well known, actually. That's how I managed to get the information. The person who told me this was a military dependent, quite close to Aunt Wu. I know the Jiang family. Their son is an absolute gem. Everyone sings his praises. But Jiang Shualan and her mother, they're downright despicable. The military spouse informed me that both Jiang's mother and Jiang Shualan have terrible character. Jiang Shualan dropped out of middle school and started running wild. With that kind of background, how could she even think about college? What a joke. Is that true? I pressed. Would I lie? Jiang Shualan was in the same class as my youngest son. Her grades were abysmal. She dropped out before finishing middle school. Besides, she broke her leg in a bike accident during the college entrance exams and was bedridden the whole time. How could she possibly have taken the tests? It's not just me who knows this. Several military dependents can vouch for it. So there's no way Jiang Shualan, who didn't even graduate from middle school, could have taken the college entrance exams. And without those exams, how could she possibly qualify for university? The answer was already clear to me. I came home in a bad mood only to find Lu Yanxi and Jiang Shualan both there. Jiang Shualan's eyes were red, as if she'd been crying. Without a word, I walked past them straight to my room. A few minutes later, Lu Yanxi came knocking at my door. As soon as I opened the door and saw him, I asked, "Did you submit our marriage application?" Caught off guard by his question, I instinctively replied, "Yeah, I did." Lu Yanxi looked at me and said, "It's been so long since we submitted it. There should have been some response by now. It should have been approved already." My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly interjected, "I'll go check on it." Lu Yanxi didn't agree. "Let's go ask together," he said. "We can also pick up some wedding supplies while we're out." I couldn't think of a good excuse to refuse. If we actually went to ask, my cover would be blown. I needed to find a way to dodge this. Lost in thought, Lu Yanxi added, "I just spoke with Shualan. I plan to send her home in a few days." I looked up at him in surprise. "Why?" "After careful consideration, I don't blame you for being upset. It really wasn't appropriate for me to be taking care of an unmarried girl like Shualan." When Lu Yanxi said this, I thought he'd finally realized his mistake, until his next words sent chills down my spine. 7. Xingnan, there's something you should know. Shualan wants to attend university, but she didn't pass the entrance exam. She's hoping to use your admission spot. I stared at Lu Yanxi in silence. He'd clearly rehearsed every word of this. I figured since we're getting married soon, you wouldn't need to go to college anyway. I owed Shualan's brother a favor. So this seemed like a good way to repay it and avoid any misunderstandings. I clenched my fists, barely restraining the urge to slap Lu Yanxi. "How exactly?" "I heard her grades are so poor she wouldn't even qualify for college admission." After a brief silence, Lu Yanxi replied, "Shualan suggested she'd attend university under your name." I'd already guessed their intentions, but hearing Lu Yanxi say those words with my own ears still left me in disbelief. I asked slowly, enunciating each word. "Using my identity to attend university, impersonation, don't you know that's illegal?" Lu Yanxi was taken aback by my question. After a long silence, he finally said, "If you don't tell, I don't tell, and Shualan doesn't tell, no one should ever find out. And what if someone does find out? Walls have ears in this world. Besides, you're a military officer. How do you think people will view you for this fraud? Do you even want to keep your position?" Hearing this, Lu Yanxi fell silent. When weighed against his own future, I believe he'll make his own judgment. Turns out I overthought it. Love conquered all. Lu Yanxi must have loved Jiang Shualan deeply. willing to risk everything for her. After several minutes of silence, he actually started persuading me again. Xingnan, if the three of us take this secret to our graves, nothing will come of it. I never imagined Lu Yanxi would abandon his principles like this for Jiang Xuelan. I couldn't hold back my anger anymore. I absolutely refused to agree to this. Over my dead body, why should I repay the favor you owe? I won't give my spot to Jiang Xuelan, not to anyone. My conversation with Lu Yanxi ended in discord. A knot of resentment tightened in my chest. Lu Yanxi and Jiang Xuelan's shamelessness infuriated me. In my past life, they pulled this stunt behind my back, keeping me in the dark until my dying day. Now that I'm on guard, they've actually approached me themselves, expecting me to slave away for them again. They're dreaming. I can't stand another minute with Lu Yanxi, no matter what. I'm confronting him about this. I won't marry him. Consider the wedding called off. He can keep playing his games with Jiang Xuelan. I won't waste another thought on either of them. Just as I finished packing to leave, Jiang Xuelan showed up. She barged in demanding, Li Xingnan, Brother Yanxi sent me to collect your university acceptance letter. I sneered at her. Why should I give you my admission letter? Didn't Brother Yanxi tell you? Jiang Xuelan looked down at me condescendingly. He doesn't like you but is being forced to marry you. If you don't hand over your admission letter, forget about marrying him. Who said I want to marry Lu Yanxi? Anyone who wants this spineless trash can have him. I certainly don't. I enunciated each word clearly to Jiang Xuelan. Take the man if you want him, but as for my college admission letter, don't even dream about it. I won't let a despicable piece of trash like you get your hands on it. Jiang Xuelan flushed with rage and pointed at me, ready to trade insults, but suddenly changed her tone. Xingnan, I swear there's nothing between me and Yanxi. How could you accuse us like this? I couldn't care less about your affairs. You two hypocritical, despicable pieces of trash deserve each other. Stay locked together and stop poisoning the world. As I finished cursing, I saw Lu Yanxi storming toward me. His teeth gritted. Li Xingnan, what the hell are you doing? Why haven't you submitted our marriage application? I never expected him to actually check about the marriage paperwork. At this point, there was nothing left to say. Don't pretend you don't know why I refused to submit the marriage application, expecting me to marry you and give up my university spot for Jiang Xuelan. How shameless can you be? What makes you so special that I'd sacrifice my education for you? Listen clearly, Lu Yanxi. I'll never marry you. Neither you nor that Jiang Xuelan will ever lay hands on my college admission letter, not even over my dead body. I expected Lu Yanxi to fly into a rage after this confrontation, but to my surprise, he remained eerily calm. It was Jiang Xuelan who lost her temper. With pitiable tears, she whimpered, Brother Yanxi, you promised to take care of me. You gave my brother your word you'd look after me. I glared coldly at the despicable pair. Whatever you two do is none of my concern. I'm leaving now. Lu Yanxi, our engagement is officially over. Lu Yanxi frantically stopped me. Xingnan, it's not what you think. Let me explain. In front of Jiang Xuelan, Lu Yanxi declared firmly, I only take care of Jiang Xuelan because I promised her brother. I have no romantic feelings for her. The only person I want to marry is you. Oh really? Wasn't it about repaying her by handing over my college admission letter for her to impersonate me? I didn't believe a single word Lu Yanxi said. Lu Yanxi, let's lay all the cards on the table. I don't care what you do with Jiang Xuelan. All I want now is to break off our engagement. My stance was unshakable, and Lu Yanxi visibly panicked. He sharply ordered Jiang Xuelan to leave, intending to placate me. But my mind was made up. I packed my things without hesitation and walked out. I checked into a motel, only for Lu Yanxi to follow and demand a conversation. I didn't open the door, so Lu Yanxi stood outside talking to me through it. He admitted he was wrong and begged for my forgiveness, but no matter what he said, I remained unmoved, left with no choice. Lu Yanxi promised from outside that he'd send Jiang Xuelan away. His promises meant nothing to me now. I'd made up my mind to call off this engagement, even if it meant causing a huge scene. I just never expected the world to turn upside down overnight. The next morning, I was jolted awake by Aunt Wu knocking on my door. Xingnan, it's a disaster. Jiang Xuelan and your fiancé were caught in the act. Lu Yanxi and Jiang Xuelan were caught in bed together, both completely naked. This was no trivial matter, and word quickly spread throughout the entire compound. Rumor has it that Lu Yanxi somehow forced himself on Jiang Xuelan last night. Then a military dependent from the compound knocked on the door and caught them in the act. Jiang Xuelan woke up sobbing uncontrollably, demanding to see the authorities. When I arrived, I saw Jiang Xuelan with swollen, red eyes still crying there, the very picture of a victim. Meanwhile, Lu Yanxi stood with a darkened expression, looking as if he'd just bitten into something vile. spotting me among the onlookers, Lu Yanxi opened his mouth to speak to me. 9. But with so many people between us, the words never came out. A scandal of this magnitude is no trivial matter. This is an inappropriate relationship that warrants dismissal. Fortunately, though Lu Yanxi and I were engaged, I never submitted our marriage application. As the victim, if I don't make a fuss, it won't count as an improper affair. The higher-ups intervened to protect Lu Yanxi. By having him marry Jiang Xuelan quietly, they swept the whole matter under the rug. On the day I left for my assignment, Lu Yanxi somehow got wind of it and showed up at the train station. I'm sorry, Xingnan, I never meant to betray you. I'd already made things clear with her and bought train tickets to send Jiang Xuelan away the next day. I don't know how this could have happened. He was beating his chest in remorse. But his apology left me completely cold. I'm actually grateful you two got together. You gave me the perfect out. My thanks to you and Jiang Xuelan. If Jiang Xuelan hadn't pulled this stunt, breaking off my engagement with Lu Yanxi wouldn't have been nearly this easy. After all, my parents think highly of Lu Yanxi. They'd never let go of such an ideal son-in-law no matter what. Lu Yanxi's affair with Jiang Xuelan actually worked in my favor. I came out on top. No need to deal with parental pressure, and I even gained sympathy points. Lu Yanxi turned deathly pale. Xingnan, you're the only one I love. I swear it's only you. The unattainable always seems most desirable. Lu Yanxi kept insisting it was me he truly loved. He said he knew I hadn't submitted the marriage application, that he'd file it himself. He genuinely wanted to spend his life with me, but I refused to relive that life. My previous existence was pure torment. If rebirth means repeating that hell, I'd rather die. Without another word to Lu Yanxi, I walked straight into the departure lounge without looking back. College life was fulfilling and hectic, with a completely different trajectory from my past life that made me devote myself wholeheartedly to studies. The university years flew by, and I was assigned to an excellent government agency upon graduation, during a visit to my parents. I unexpectedly ran into Lu Yanxi and Jiang Xuelan. Unlike his meteoric rise to high office in the previous life, Lu Yanxi had left the military to return home and farm. Rumor has it that after marrying Jiang Xuelan, their relationship turned sour. She constantly made scenes and caused such turmoil that Lu Yanxi couldn't focus on his work. Jiang Xuelan was extremely distrustful of Lu Yanxi. The moment he interacted with any woman, she'd suspect him of infidelity. With all this relentless drama, Lu Yanxi eventually lost his job. In his previous life, he climbed the ladder of success effortlessly, yet never cared for his parents, me as his wife, or our children. Because of Jiang Xuelan, he finally stayed with his parents this lifetime, but endless farm work and her daily tantrums aged Lu Yanxi by a decade. We had a brief encounter at the station before I turned and walked away without hesitation. My parents told me countless stories about Lu Yanxi and Jiang Xuelan. Those two were always at each other's throats. The Lu household was basically a battlefield, major fights every 3 days, minor squabbles every 2. Jiang Xuelan refused to do any housework and showed no filial piety towards Lu Yanxi's parents. She despised Lu Yanxi's parents for being ill and found them repulsively unclean. Rumor has it Jiang Xuelan would scream during arguments. This wasn't supposed to happen. My previous life was completely different. How did it come to this? It's all because you're spineless. She claimed Lu Yanxi held high-ranking official positions while she herself worked a cushy government job without lifting a finger. Everyone mocked Jiang Xuelan for daydreaming. Given her circumstances with Lu Yanxi, such good fortune only existed in fantasies. I listened to my parents in silence, a suspicion forming in my mind. Could Jiang Xuelan have been reborn too? Convinced by her past life's trajectory that marrying Lu Yanxi would bring prosperity, she took the desperate gamble. She tried to steal my admission letter beforehand to take my place, but when she couldn't find it on me, she attempted to manipulate Lu Yanxi instead. She assumed I was blindly devoted to Lu Yanxi and would agree to anything he asked. Little did she expect that I'd refuse Lu Yanxi, let alone that he would decide to send her away. That's why she staged this whole "the thief cries stop thief" charade. On the day I left, Lu Yanxi stopped me at the village entrance. I had a dream, Xingnan. In our past life we were married, we even had a child together. And then, I stared at him coldly. I wronged you. Nothing ever happened between me and Jiang Xuelan. She stole your college admission letter to impersonate you, then blackmailed me into forging documents. Like a fool, I agreed. After that, she haunted me like a vengeful ghost, threatening to expose me whenever I refused her demands. Lu Yanxi clutched his own hair. I'd been under her threat for decades, right until you left. I don't understand how things came to this. I didn't wait to hear the rest, just turned and walked away. Water under the bridge. I've long since let go of past lives and old grudges. To forgive others is to free yourself, after all. People like Lu Yanxi and Jian Shualan aren't worth remembering forever. Story 2. I was reborn on the day I was supposed to donate a kidney to the wealthy man. My younger sister yanked me off the operating table, shouting, "Sis can't donate, I'll do it instead." Then I realized, my sister had been reborn too. In my past life, I married the wealthy man who survived thanks to my kidney, becoming a pampered socialite. My jealous sister, bitter about her miserable life, pushed me off a skyscraper. This time, as my sister lay triumphantly on the operating table, she sneered, "Sis, now it's my turn to marry Zhou Ting and become the young mistress of the wealthy family." I smirked coldly. She never knew my greatest regret last lifetime was marrying Zhou Ting, that psychologically twisted monster. 1. Don't move. Didn't you agree to trade a kidney for $1 million? Too late for regrets now. I woke up lying on an operating table. The private doctor's icy voice came from above me. I suddenly realized I'd been reborn, back to the day my family forced me to donate a kidney. The anesthesia had taken effect, leaving me too weak to resist. The cold scalpel slowly glided across my skin. Just as I lost all hope, my younger sister burst into the room. She dragged me off the operating table and took my place. If my sister can't donate, I will. I froze. This plot twist wasn't in my last life script. 2. My little sister's dream is to marry into money. In our past lives, she schemed to study abroad with her trust fund boyfriend, terrified some foreign floozy would steal him away. She conspired with her doting parents to stage an elaborate charade, coercing me into donating a kidney to Zhou Ting in exchange for $1 million. Later, I married Zhou Ting and became a wealthy socialite, but that silver spoon heir never married my sister. He kept her as his mistress instead, at champagne-filled galas. As the lady of the house, I basked in the spotlight like the moon surrounded by stars. My sister was being beaten up by the rich heir's wife. "Who do you think you are? Some kind of socialite? How dare you show your face at this kind of party? Get lost. If I ever see you in a place like this again, I'll beat you every single time." Through the crowd, my sister glared at me with burning envy. After the banquet, my disheveled sister confronted me. Bitter resentment dripped from her voice. "Zhao Shui, I'm prettier and sweeter-tongued than you, clearly more suited to be a wealthy matriarch. Just bad luck." I thought Zhou Ting, that doomed wretch, wouldn't last long, so I passed him over. Her eyes flicked to my flat stomach. "I'm more fertile too, if not 4. As if recalling something unpleasant, she hissed through gritted teeth, "In short, you barren hen aren't fit to be the Zhou family's young mistress." Blinded by resentment, she pushed me off the high-rise building. Instinctively, I grabbed her dress, dragging her down with me in death. 3. My parents rushed into the operating room shortly after. They coaxed, "Jiao Jiao, don't be willful. Donating a kidney would harm your health. Let your sister do it instead." I curled my lips bitterly. These were my parents, though we're both their daughters. They couldn't bear to see Jiao 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 suffer the slightest harm, yet wouldn't spare a thought for my life, to fund her study abroad. My mother even lied about me being ill, pressuring me to sell my kidney for her treatment. Jiao 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 refused to back down. "It's fine, I've done my research. People have 2 kidneys, losing one won't affect your health much. You just can't do heavy labor. Your daughter was born to live comfortably anyway, she won't need to lift a finger." But Jiao 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 cut them off impatiently. "No buts, Mom and Dad, the Zhous are a powerful family. If they take my kidney, they'll owe me. Whenever our family needs help in the future, all I have to do is ask. They'll have to return the favor." She shot me a glance. "Zhao Shui has no conscience like I do. Mom, don't you remember, when you said you were seriously ill and needed money for chemo?" She still made excuses instead of donating a kidney for that $1 million. "If she ever makes it big someday, you really think she'll remember you?" I sneered. Did they really not understand why I kept making excuses? Since childhood, my parents always favored Jiao 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 while treating me with nothing but scolding and beatings. In my view, since Jiao 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 reaped all the maternal love, if our mother truly needed money from selling a kidney, it shouldn't have fallen on me to donate. Clearly, they thought differently. They brought in journalists to expose me, hung banners at my school, and branded me an ungrateful wretch who cared nothing for my mother's life. The public shaming left me no choice but to give up that kidney. Mom and Dad always listened to my sister. "Jiao Jiao, are you absolutely sure about this?" Jiao 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 nodded, and just like that, Jiao 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 got her wish. Lying on the operating table, before I left, she smirked triumphantly and said loud enough for me to hear, "Sister, this time it's my turn to marry Zhou Ting and become the young mistress of a wealthy family." The moment I heard those words, everything became crystal clear. It wasn't just me who got a second chance. Jiao 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 did too. Little did Jiao 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 know, Being the young mistress of the Zhou family came with its own nightmares. Zhou Ting only married me to use me as a walking organ bank. Years of illness had taken a toll on his mental health as well. To outsiders, he appeared as a gentle and refined gentleman, but in truth, he was a sadist who envied my healthy body and tormented me in every way possible. I smiled as the operating room door slowly closed. Now it's your turn, dear sister. I returned to school and devoted all my energy to studying, making up for the regret from my past life where kidney donation and subsequent wound infection disrupted my senior year preparation, causing me to miss out on a top university. My school life became busy yet fulfilling. Things weren't going so smoothly for Zhao Jiao Jiao. She followed the same painful path I once walked, tormented by wound infections, suffering unbearable pain with recurring high fevers. My parents were so frantic they took extended leave from work just to care for her. When I had the same infected wound in my past life, I never received such royal treatment. After pocketing the million from the Zhous, my parents abandoned me at the hospital without a second thought, even when doctors warned them about my critical condition. They never visited, just cursed me for being a burden and left me to rot in that hospital bed. In the end, it was Zhou Ting's parents who hired a caregiver for me, probably only because I still had some use to them. Sometimes I seriously wonder if I'm even their biological child. During Zhao Jiajia's hospitalization, my parents had me deliver some clean clothes to them, which was the only time I saw them. My parents had lost significant weight, with dark circles under their eyes. Clearly, being caregivers had taken its toll. Zhao Jiajiao looked utterly drained, a far cry from her usual vibrant self. That's what losing a kidney does. They say it won't affect your health, but you'll feel significantly weaker. In my past life, I'd be panting after just 5 flights of stairs, and even lifting light objects felt exhausting. Now I can run 3 laps around the track without breaking a sweat. Zhao Shui, you must be thrilled to see me suffering, aren't you? Zhao Jiajiao said with relish. Life's bitterness always precedes its sweetness. Let me tell you, during my hospital stay, I confessed to Zhou Ting, and he accepted. My golden days are yet to come. I froze, never expecting them to get entangled so quickly. Zhao Jiajiao added, you must be drowning in regret now. Too late, good riddance. Those 2 troublemakers deserve each other. At least they'll stay out of my hair now. A month before the college entrance exams, Zhao Jiajiao returned to school arm in arm with Zhou Ting. Their intimacy on full display. Zhou Ting even transferred to our class just for her. When Zhao Jiajiao spotted me, she clung tighter to Zhou Ting's arm as if I might snatch him away. Her voice dripped with apprehension and disgust. What awful luck, Zhou Ting asked her. Jiajiao, what's wrong? Zhao Jiajiao shot me a glance, the corners of her lips curling slightly. Immediately, I had a bad feeling about this. 5. Zhao Jiajiao tattled to Zhou Ting. Zhou Ting, you don't know this. But originally it was supposed to be your sister who donated her kidney to you. She chickened out on the operating table at the last minute. I stepped up without hesitation and gave you my kidney instead. If it weren't for me, you'd still be lying in that hospital bed right now. Zhou Ting had been sickly since childhood, with several near-death experiences where doctors barely managed to pull him back from the brink. His hatred for those who jeopardized his health ran bone deep. He violently kicked over my desk, snarling with malice. These days, any worthless trash thinks they can waltz into our school. When the Zhou family's sole heir flew into a rage, not a single soul dared speak up in my defense. After all, his family donated several academic buildings to the school. Even the principal speaks to him with deference. One bespectacled guy in class was practically stirring the pot, if I recall correctly. Zhao Shui's mother is critically ill and desperately needs that million from her kidney sale. Now that she's run off, her mom's lifeline is gone. What an ungrateful wretch. Shouldn't trash like her be kicked out of our class? The moment he finished speaking, the other students' gazes toward me grew noticeably more contemptuous. The bespectacled guy shot me a glance, his eyes brimming with malice. He might not have been the worst person I encountered in my past life. But Chen Wang was hands down the most repulsive classmate. Being short and scrawny, he'd been bullied multiple times by the class troublemakers. Once when I helped him out, he mistook it for romantic interest and publicly confessed to me. I politely turned him down. From that moment on, he held a grudge against me. Back when I refused to sell my kidney for money, my mother faked an illness and caused a scene at my school. Chen Wang took photos of the incident, posted them on the school forum and other social media platforms, spreading malicious rumors to smear my reputation. The online harassment and constant pointing fingers at school eventually forced me to donate the kidney. Later, when I married Zhou Ting and started what he considered a good life, he still wouldn't let me go. Chen Wang somehow got hold of Zhou Ting's phone number and sent him AI-generated fake photos, accusing me of being unfaithful. What greeted me was yet another brutal beating from Zhou Ting. After that incident, I had someone investigate and found out Chen Wang was the one who framed me. Everyone around him says he's a decent, down-to-earth guy, not exceptional, but reliable and kind-hearted. He has a steady, ordinary job and a fiancée he's planning to marry. In truth, he was like a sewer rat, secretly taking upskirt photos of women in various settings and spreading malicious rumors about accomplished females through anonymous accounts, driving some victims into depression. I compiled all his disgusting actions and perverted remarks into a dossier and sent it to everyone in his social circle. Later I heard he lost his job, his engagement fell through, even got embroiled in lawsuits, becoming literal vermin that everyone wanted to stomp on. Now there's Chen Wang, still young but equally repulsive. He's been covertly taking upskirt photos of female classmates with his phone, including Zhao Jiajiao. I've been so busy with studies lately that I completely forgot about this matter. Now that he's acting up again, all those disgusting things he did came flooding back to my mind, while Chen Wang was fanning the flames and trying to get Zhou Ting to teach me a lesson. I'd already quietly made my way to his desk and taken his phone. Chen Wang's face darkened. Zhao Shui, don't you dare touch my phone. It was already too late. How come your album is full of upskirt photos of girls, and you even have my sister's pictures? I gasped. Chen Wang, my sister is Zhou Ting's girlfriend. How dare you set your sights on her? Chen Wang's face instantly turned ashen. The classmates stared at him in shock. Holy shit, Chen Wang always seemed so decent. How could he do something like this? How disgusting. Chen Wang should be the one kicked out of our class. This needs to be exposed. Let everyone see his revolting true colors. Chen Wang broke into a cold sweat and sobbed in terror. Please don't do this. If it gets out, everyone will crucify me. My life will be over. See, even Chen Wang understands how terrifying public opinion can be. He never understood the pain until the rod struck his own back. The bullet he once fired at me eventually found its way back to his own skull, just as I predicted. Zhou Ting greeted him with fists falling like hailstones. Zhou Ting was inherently arrogant, looking down on everyone with an insatiable need for control. He never treated Zhao Jiajiao as an equal. She was just his property, and nothing infuriated him more than others coveting what was his. Chen Wang secretly took intimate photos of Zhao Jiajiao. No wonder Zhou Ting beat him up. Chen Wang didn't dare fight back, just took the beating while begging for mercy. Watching this unfold, Zhao Jiajiao smiled sweetly and said to me, see that, Zhou Ting's fighting for me. Men look so hot when they throw punches. Handsome. This is clearly emotional instability. If Zhou Ting could hit Chen Wang on a whim today, he could just as easily turn on her tomorrow. The fight only ended when Zhou Ting was too exhausted to continue. Zhao Jiajiao quickly handed Zhou Ting a towel. You must be tired. Here, wipe your sweat. Zhou Ting wiped the sweat off, his sinister gaze settling on me. Now it's your turn. I hadn't expected Zhou Ting to hold such a grudge. Still remembering Zhao Jiajiao's recent slander against me, facing his violent stare, I remained surprisingly calm inside. After all, the tactic of redirecting trouble to others is something I've used before, and can use again. I shot a glance at the smug Zhao Jiajiao and calmly stated, let me clarify something. My mother is perfectly healthy. She's not ill at all. They faked her illness to pressure me into selling my kidney. That $1,000,000 was meant to fund Zhao Jiajiao's study abroad, so she could join her trust fund boyfriend overseas. Zhou Ting indeed lost the energy to target me. His expression darkened as he turned to Zhao Jiajiao. Jiajiao, care to explain? 6. Panic flashed across Zhao Jiajiao's face. Her wealthy boyfriend attended an elite private school, and apart from me, no one knew about their relationship. After getting together with Zhou Ting, Zhao Jiajiao broke up with her wealthy boyfriend. But the guy couldn't handle being dumped. His pride was wounded, and he kept harassing her. She knew perfectly well that while Zhou Ting was easygoing, he'd never tolerate her toying with his feelings. Digging her nails into her palm, Zhao Jiajiao quickly regained composure. Zhou Ting, I don't have a boyfriend. I donated my kidney because I like you. Don't listen to her nonsense. She paused before continuing. As for my mother, she wasn't actually sick. The hospital misdiagnosed her. Really? Zhao Jiajiao nodded eagerly. Zhou Ting gently stroked her cheek, his voice icy. You're not lying to me. Zhao Jiajiao declared firmly. I would never lie to you. My sister just can't stand seeing us together, so she made up these lies to drive a wedge between us, fearing I might say something else to her disadvantage. She hastily interjected, but Zhou Ting, please spare her. After all, she's my sister. You're just too kind-hearted for your own good. Zhao Jiajiao said with a laugh, isn't that exactly what you love about me, my kindness? Zhou Ting gave her a meaningful look, the corner of his mouth quirking up. You're absolutely right, he said. Let's consider this matter closed. After tidying up the desk, I went to the restroom, and Zhao Jiao followed me. She gloated, "See, Zhou Ting dotes on me now and does whatever I say. Just wait and see, with the right choices. My life won't be worse than yours," I replied indifferently. Whatever makes you happy. In my past life, when I first met Zhou Ting, he treated me exceptionally well, attending to my every need with meticulous care, so when he proposed, I accepted without a second thought. After marriage, his violent nature surfaced. He'd lay hands on me at the slightest disagreement. Eventually, I realized his kindness was just a ruse to marry me and turn me into his personal organ bank. Multiple organs in his body show signs of deterioration, and coincidentally, I'm a perfect match for all of them. Zhou Ting is like a piece of candy, beautifully wrapped on the outside, but filled with viscous poison within. Jiao mistakenly thought I still had lingering feelings for Zhou Ting. Zhao Shui, it's too late for regrets now. Zhou Ting is mine, and I won't let you take him away. Don't worry, all I care about now is focusing on my studies. As long as you don't provoke me, I won't say anything inappropriate in front of him. Jiao sneered. You'd better keep your word. After that confrontation, Jiao didn't dare to bother me again, but the way she looked at me was full of wariness, terrified I might steal her precious Zhou Ting. I found it amusing. No one but Jiao would treat trash like Zhou Ting as treasure. Zhou Ting didn't give me any trouble either. He'd just recovered and doctors had ordered him to rest. After that fight with Chen Wang, he started coughing up blood and was readmitted to the hospital. The Zhou family took their anger out on Chen Wang, exposing his dirty secrets and pressuring the school until he was forced to drop out. All in all, my school life remained relatively peaceful, but 2 days before the college entrance exams, everything changed. Just 2 days before the college entrance exams, our school gave us seniors time off to study at home. After Jiao hooked up with Zhou Ting, she never cracked open a book again. She said Zhou Ting had promised to take her abroad for studies. Why bother hitting the books when she could just focus on him, who needs some mythical book-smart beauty? Marrying Zhou Ting meant she'd have it all. So after coming home for the holidays, instead of studying, she spent all her time dating Zhou Ting, who had just been discharged from the hospital. One day, she came home with a slap mark on her face. My parents were heartbroken when they saw it and immediately asked what happened. Jiao pointed the finger at me. It's all Zhao Shui's fault. She told Zhou Ting about my ex-boyfriend. When Zhou Ting dug up details about my past with that guy, he got angry and taught me a lesson. My father raised his hand to hit me, but my mother stopped him. Don't you dare lay a finger on Zhao Shui. She bit back her words and shot my father a meaningful look, as if remembering something. My father immediately lowered his hand. Though I dodged a bullet, my heart sank like a stone. This is completely out of character. Knowing my mother, she'd never stop my father from hitting me. She'd actually pour fuel on the fire. She'd often say, I should have drowned you in the toilet right after you were born. Spare us all the misery of raising a cursed burden like you. But this time, they just shot me a vicious glare before turning their attention to Jiao, whose cheeks were flushed pink. Jiao, does it hurt? Let mom and dad take you to the hospital. I'm fine now. They pleaded. Jiao, break up with Zhou Ting. He's not right for you. No. Despite being beaten by Zhou Ting, Jiao defended him. Mom, Dad, Zhou Ting's usually so good to me. He's never laid a hand on me before, but he did hit you. Zhou Ting only hits me because he cares. Besides, he knows his limits. It didn't even hurt that much. Jiao flashed a blissful smile, looking every bit the love-struck fool who believed affection could numb all pain. My father sighed. Never mind, your happiness is what matters most. Jiao, you must be hungry. Let me cook you something nice. My mom stood up too. I'll get you some ointment. Just apply it for half a day and the swelling will go down. Our precious Jiao will be her pretty little self again in no time. My parents were bending over backwards to cheer her up. With no attention left for me, I retreated to my room, narrowly avoiding trouble, yet feeling uneasy inside. The half-reviewed textbook lay on my desk. But I couldn't focus on a single word. The image of my mother stopping my father from hitting me keeps replaying in my mind, along with her pleading, honey, you can't hit Zhao Shui. Why shouldn't they hit me? They've never liked me anyway, always being rough with me without holding back. This time would be no different. Could it be because I'm about to take the college entrance exams, and they don't want to affect my performance? Impossible. If they truly wanted me to get into university, they wouldn't have made me donate a kidney to Zhou Ting during the most critical year of high school. Feeling restless, my gaze drifted to the window where a girl was selling gardenias. Big brother, why not buy a string for your girlfriend? They smell wonderful, wilted and pathetic. I wouldn't take them even if they were free. Some strange impulse made me think of myself. Are my parents not hitting me because they're planning to sell me off? A bruised face would lower my market value to decent families. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. If they'd force me to sell a kidney for the Zhou family's million without caring about my health, selling me outright would be child's play to them. As for the motive, 9 times out of 10 it was about Zhao Jiao. Zhao Jiao was terrified I'd change my mind and seduce Zhou Ting. If I got married, I'd no longer be a threat to her. The thought made me too anxious to stay home a moment longer. Grabbing my ID, exam admission ticket, and the little savings I'd scraped together over the years, I headed for the door. Outside the room, my dad was cooking while my mom and Zhao Jiao watched TV. The picture-perfect family scene making me feel like an outsider. Maybe it's for the best. No one would pay me any attention anyway. Just as I reached the door, my mom suddenly called out, "Zhao Shui, where do you think you're going?" Holding up the trash bag, I replied without batting an eye, taking out the garbage. She walked over and took the trash bag from my hands. "Your college entrance exams are in 2 days. Go focus on your studies. I'll take care of this trash after dinner when I take out the kitchen waste." With that, my mother quietly locked the door behind her. Her refusal to let me out only confirmed my suspicions. Not wanting to arouse suspicion, I dropped the matter, obediently put down the trash bag, and retreated to my room. When the night grew still and everyone had fallen asleep, I quietly opened my tightly shut bedroom door. The living room was pitch black, save for the faint moonlight streaming through the window. I let out a soft sigh and tiptoed to the entrance, my hand just reaching the doorknob. A blinding light suddenly flashed from behind me. Jiao's spoiled voice rang out from nearby. "Zhao Shui, where are you going in the middle of the night?" 8. Just my luck. Of all times, Jiao had to go to the bathroom right when I was trying to sneak out. I kept my tone calm. "Can't sleep, just going for a walk." "Oh, really?" Jiao walked over without batting an eye. Having grown up together, I knew her well enough. Her tone made it clear she didn't buy my story for a second. Without hesitation, I turned the doorknob and bolted for the exit, only to find the door had been deadbolted from inside with a key. Anticipating this, I swiftly pulled my keys from my pocket. The moment I inserted the key, Jiao rushed over, grabbing my arm to stop me from turning it. She sneered triumphantly. "Zhao Shui, did you really think I'm that stupid? One look at you and I knew you'd try to run." Her voice turned vicious as she spat. "Listen carefully. As long as I'm alive, you'll never get near Zhou Ting. You're marrying that old bachelor, period. His dowry money will fund my overseas studies." Rage surged through me. I grabbed Jiao by the hair and smashed her head against the wall. Thud, thud, missing a kidney and still recovering. Jiao stood no chance against me. Within moments, I'd pummeled her into dazed submission. She couldn't lift a finger to stop me. All the while, she kept screaming at the top of her lungs. One moment she'd shriek, "Zhao Shui, how dare you? I'll make mom and dad beat you black and blue." The next she'd wail, "Mom, Dad, come quick. Zhao Shui's trying to kill me. She's going to run away." The commotion was so deafening there was no way our parents could sleep through it. Just as my parents came rushing out at the noise, I turned the key again. My heart was in my throat, and my hands trembled slightly. The lock was a bit stiff. Sometimes it took several tries to turn it open. I prayed silently that the lock would open smoothly this time. It was as if God had heard my prayers. The lock gave way after just 2 attempts. The moment I swung the door open, my parents were mere steps away. I bolted for the exit, but Zhao Shui, half conscious, suddenly grabbed my ankle. "You're not leaving," she slurred. "I'll make sure mom and dad skin you alive today." Without hesitation, I drove my foot straight into Jiao's face, twice, with brutal force. Jiao cared about nothing more than her face. True enough, she immediately released her grip to shield her face. She screamed through the pain. "It hurts. My nose might be broken. You bitch. I'll make sure you die horribly." Seizing the opportunity, I bolted for the exit. Just then, my parents had already rushed up to me. One of them focused on the injured Jiao, while the other reached out to grab me as I stepped out the door. My father had already seized my shirt collar, yanking me back while shouting, "You little bastard, get your ass back here now." The house was brightly lit, radiating warmth, yet outside, it was dark and bitterly cold. But I knew, stepping back into this house would seal my doom beyond redemption. This was Jiao's home, never mine. The more chaotic things became, the calmer I grew. I stopped running. I knew my strength was no match for a grown man. I grabbed the doorknob and flung it outward with all my might. The next second, my father's agonized scream pierced the air. The door had crushed his hand with a sickening force. The pain made him release his grip on me. I might have imagined it, but I swear I heard the sickening crack of bone. When my father finally let go, I knew this was my chance to run. I didn't run. I watched his exposed forearm, too slow to pull back, gripping the doorknob as he slammed the door again and again. My father's agonized wails and pleas for mercy filled the air, yet I felt an exhilarating rush of satisfaction. Do you feel it now, Dad? I felt this same pain every time you hit me. When I begged for mercy, you just hit me harder, just like this. After countless struggles, I finally escaped that icy household, their curses ringing in my ears. I severed all ties with that family. On this drizzly spring night with a biting wind, I fled toward freedom. When my exhilaration subsided, the most pressing reality confronted me. Where could I find shelter to safely complete my college entrance exams? I knew my parents wouldn't let me go easily. They'd stop at nothing to sabotage me, drag me back, and force me to marry that old bachelor Zhao Jiao kept mentioning. I'll definitely show up at the exam hall. And they probably know that. 9. I considered calling the police. But it's a family matter. My parents put on this perfect parent act in public. It's downright deceptive. The cops might not even take my side sometimes. I thought of my homeroom teacher, Ms. Chu. She was such a wonderful teacher. That time when she heard Zhou Ting had given me trouble in class, she even called me to her office specifically. She told me I must come to her if anyone ever bullied me. She would never tolerate Zhou Ting's bullying behavior on campus just because he came from a privileged family. I also heard she sponsored a girl from an impoverished mountain village, saving her from child marriage. She always encouraged girls to study hard and take control of their own destinies. With these thoughts in mind, I went to find Teacher Chu. Just as I expected, when Teacher Chu heard about my situation, she didn't hesitate for a second before deciding to take me in. Don't worry. I'll make sure you're safe. With Teacher Chu's reassurance, the weight slowly lifted from my anxious heart. Noticing my rain-soaked hair, Teacher Chu handed me clean clothes and a towel. These are from my college days. They should fit you. Go shower now before you catch a cold. Don't forget you've got college entrance exams the day after tomorrow. My nose tingled with emotion. Thank you, Professor Chu. Professor Chu gently patted my hair and said tenderly, if you really want to thank me, ace your exams and make something of yourself. Prove all those doubters wrong. Alright. Worried I might catch a cold, Professor Chu brewed me ginger tea shortly after I finished showering. I sat wrapped in a blanket, sipping the ginger tea. My heart felt warm, and so did my stomach. Just then, my parents called her asking if she'd seen me, and Teacher Chu said no. My parents said, Teacher, you don't understand. This child got involved with shady people online, stole money from home, and ran away. When we tried to stop her, she even hurt us. If you hear anything about her, you must let us know. Teacher Chu glanced at me and simply said, okay. After hanging up, Teacher Chu rubbed his temples and sighed. What kind of people are your parents? I've never seen such blatant favoritism in my life. Because I look like grandma. What is it? I spoke slowly. When my grandmother was young, she suffered domestic violence from my grandfather. To protect herself, she fled to another city, without taking my father. That's why he resented her. Later, she remarried a wealthy man, had 2 more children, and secured their futures early. But when my father got married, she only gave a red envelope. My mother thought grandma played favorites and grew to dislike her too. Keeping my eyes downcast, I added, eventually, they started seeing me as a reminder of grandma, and nothing I did could please them. In my past life, it took me forever to uncover why they always favored Jiao. Absurd as it sounds, that's the truth. Teacher Chu sighed after hearing this. It's not your fault. They simply didn't deserve to be your parents. She patted my shoulder again. It's all behind you now. I thought I'd have trouble sleeping in an unfamiliar place. Surprisingly, I slept like a baby. This place just felt so comforting. When I woke up, Teacher Chu had already prepared breakfast. You're awake. Come have breakfast after washing up. Hope it suits your taste. Her smile was so tender towards me. This was such a rare experience for me. I'd been in charge of making breakfast for the family since I was little. I had to wake up an hour earlier than everyone else to prepare their favorite breakfast. My parents prefer Chinese breakfast, while Zhao likes Western-style mornings. As for what I like to eat, I don't even know myself, and they don't seem to care. After breakfast, I rushed to wash the dishes before Teacher Chu could. You're such a thoughtful child, Teacher Chu said. I prepared some senior year review materials in the study. Stay home and study today. I'll take you to the college entrance exam tomorrow. I thanked her. The day passed quietly and leisurely. Then at dusk, urgent knocking shattered the tranquility. A bad feeling instantly washed over me. As I opened the study door, Professor Chu happened to step out of his room at the same moment. We approached the door and saw through the video doorbell my father with his arm in a sling, and Jiao with bandages covering her forehead and nose. To our surprise, Zhou Ting stood beside her, flanked by several burly men who looked ready for trouble. Come to think of it, Zhou Ting's arrival makes perfect sense. He sees Zhao Jiao as his personal property. He'd never allow anyone but himself to lay a finger on her. Beside them stood a middle-aged man in his 40s or 50s. With dark skin, thinning hair, and yellowed teeth visible whenever he spoke, his eyes gleamed with an unfriendly, ruthless sharpness. I figured this must be the old bachelor Zhao Jiao had mentioned. Just thinking about it makes me sick to my stomach. I'm so relieved I caught on to their plan to sell me last night and managed to escape, otherwise, I'd be facing a living hell with no way out. As for my mother, she was standing there with hands on hips, screaming her head off. Zhao Shui, I know you're in there, get your ass out here right now. Did you really think hiding at your homeroom teacher's place would keep us from finding you? The Zhou family has connections everywhere. Tracking you down is just one phone call away. You heard our Jiao, and neither we nor Zhou Ting will let this slide. She kept screaming, Teacher Chu, I actually thought you were decent. Turns out you're just another piece of trash. You almost fooled me. Open this damn door now. You have no idea what you're bringing upon yourself by crossing the Zhou family. I knew Teacher Chu wouldn't hand me over, but I was afraid I'd end up dragging her into this mess. As if sensing my thoughts, Teacher Chu took my hand. It's alright, I'm an adult, I can handle this. Her hand was small yet warm and firm. My anxious heart gradually settled. When my parents saw Teacher Chu wasn't answering, they huddled with Zhou Ting briefly before sending some burly men to break down the teacher's door. When persuasion failed, they resorted to force. No door could withstand that kind of battering. It was only a matter of time before they forced their way in. 10. Anticipating this, Teacher Chu decided to call for backup. She didn't call the police. After all, this was a family matter. She feared the police might let my parents take me away under their relentless pressure. Instead, she called her friends for backup. Soon enough, a tall woman with burgundy curls arrived, accompanied by a dozen burly men armed with steel pipes. The woman rapped the metal pipe against the wall with a sharp clang, instantly drawing everyone's attention. So you're the ones giving Chu trouble. The curly-haired woman shot my parents a glance, her tone icy and detached. Her commanding presence was overwhelming. Under her hostile gaze, my parents' previously upright postures involuntarily slumped. Zhou Ting kicked over the trash bag Teacher Chu's neighbor had left by the door. This is family business, none of your damn concern. The curly-haired woman arched an eyebrow and strode toward Zhou Ting. Her leather boots struck the floor with menacing thuds. Zhou Ting's men rushed forward to block her path. The curly-haired woman didn't even bat an eye. With a snap of her fingers, her subordinates subdued them all without touching a single strand of her hair. My parents and Zhao Jiao watched the scene unfold, their earlier arrogance completely gone. They trembled like frightened quails, not daring to make a sound, terrified they'd be next. The curly-haired woman grabbed Zhou Ting by the collar and lifted him effortlessly. Like plucking a chick from its nest, Zhou Ting certainly put up a fight. But frail and just out of the hospital, he was no match for the curly-haired woman. The collar choked Zhou Ting until his face turned crimson. You little brat, you scared my friend. The curly-haired woman gave Zhou Ting's cheek a firm pat. I don't care about family drama. When it comes to my friends, their business is my business. Whoever they protect, I protect. Her warning gaze swept across my parents before settling on Zhou Ting. In our line of work, there's only one rule, an eye for an eye. Go ahead, try messing with that kid again, but remember, walk down enough dark alleys, and you're bound to take a nasty fall. Broken arms and legs happen all the time. Think carefully before doing anything stupid. The sheer intensity of the curly-haired woman's presence silenced everyone. My parents ducked their heads even lower, terrified of catching the curly-haired woman's attention. What a loser. The curly-haired woman snorted in derision and released her grip. Zhou Ting collapsed onto the floor and remained there for a long moment, unable to get up. Zhao Jiao reached out to steady him, but Zhou Ting shoved her away violently. Get lost. It was all because of her that Zhou Ting had been reduced to such a pitiful state, and he'd grown to despise her for it. Instead of getting angry, Zhao Jiao murmured a quiet apology, her usual arrogance nowhere to be seen. Zhou Ting probably knew he could treat Zhao Jiao however he wanted without consequence. That's why he'd laid hands on her yesterday. I have a feeling Zhao Jiao won't even make it to marriage with Zhou Ting. She'll suffer his abuse during their study abroad days. In under 2 minutes, my parents left with the whole entourage in tow. Before storming off, Zhou Ting shot the curly-haired woman a murderous glare and spat. This isn't over. The curly-haired woman smirked and flipped him the bird. Zhou Ting probably wanted to curse, but the thought of the curly-haired woman's combat skills and the burly men around her stopped him. In the end, he left without a word, grinding his teeth in frustration. Once they were gone, the curly-haired woman dismissed the hired muscle and entered Teacher Chu's house alone. 11. Teacher Chu introduced her to me. this is Shin Sang, my friend, Miss Shin. That name sounds vaguely familiar. I tried hard to recall, but it just wouldn't come to me. Miss Shin's cold demeanor melted away when she saw me. With a warm smile, she said, "Hey kiddo, was I too harsh earlier? Don't be scared, I'm just in the logistics business. Those guys are my employees, not gangsters," I said with genuine admiration. "You weren't harsh at all, you're actually really cool. I want to be someone like you when I grow up." Shin Sang's smile deepened. "Such a sweet talker. I didn't save you for nothing." She asked Teacher Chu, "Hey Chu, what's going on with these people outside?" Teacher Chu briefly explained the whole situation to Shin Sang. Shin Sang regretted, "Had I known, I wouldn't have let them off so easily today. I should have given them a good beating." At the most inopportune moment, Ms. Shin's stomach let out an embarrassing growl. Teacher Chu shot her a disapproving look. "Skipped breakfast again. How many times must I tell you? Breakfast is non-negotiable, your stomach will suffer. Work's been crazy lately. No paycheck is worth your health." Shin Sang listened to Teacher Chu's chattering with a smile. Eventually, Teacher Chu gave Shin Sang some bread to tide her over before starting lunch preparations. As we ate, spring thunder rumbled and the morning's briefly ceased rain began falling again. I got up to close the windows, hearing Teacher Chu and Shin Sang's conversation behind me. "It always rains during the National College entrance exams. Looks like this year's no exception, Mr. Shin. Aren't you traveling for work tomorrow? The roads get slippery when it rains. Drive carefully." My hand paused on the window latch, then it hit me. I'd heard Mr. Shin's name before, from a classmate. 6 years after high school graduation, our class held a reunion. Everyone in our class adored Ms. Chu. We wanted to invite her, but our class monitor said she'd left the city right after teaching our cohort, choosing to transfer to rural areas for volunteer teaching. Someone asked, "Why so suddenly?" The monitor explained, "Ms. Chu originally came to this city because her close friend Shin Sang lived here. After her friend passed away in a landslide, she couldn't bear to stay in this place of heartbreak. It happened right around our college entrance exams. That day, Teacher Chu got a phone call and her face turned ashen, like the sky had fallen. I've met Teacher Chu's friend before. A really beautiful older sister who often picked her up after work. They were so close." No wonder Teacher Chu was devastated. I turned back to look at Teacher Chu and Shin Sang chatting and laughing together, my expression complicated. They're so perfectly matched. I hope they'll stay this happy together forever. Just like this. I've made up my mind. No matter what it takes, I'll change Shin Sang's fate. During dinner, I pleaded, "Sis Shin, could you take me to my exam tomorrow? I'm afraid my parents might give me trouble." "They wouldn't dare." Shin Sang jabbed her chopsticks into the rice bowl. "Fine, I'll go with you tomorrow," Teacher Chu said. "Aren't you supposed to be on a business trip tomorrow?" "The business trip can wait. Our child's college entrance exam comes first, Mr. Shin replied. I wouldn't trust anyone else with something this important. I gave them a grateful smile. Mr. Shin is truly a good man. Good people get their just rewards. 12. On the day of the college entrance exam, my parents predictably wouldn't give up. They brought some tough guys to block the school gate. Mr. Shin arrived with his crew, knocked them flat, and safely escorted me through the school gates. Waving at me, she said, "Zhao Shui, give it your all in the exam. Aim to soar toward broader horizons." I nodded emphatically. "Absolutely." On the second day of the college entrance exams, my parents didn't send anyone to harass me. When Shin Sang dropped me off at the school gate again, I understood why. My parents' faces were bruised and swollen. Clearly Shin had taught them a lesson, so they didn't dare bother me anymore. With ample time to prepare this time, those exam papers didn't seem difficult to me. I have a feeling I'll score well on this test. The first thing I did when returning to Teacher Chu's place was turn on the TV. Shortly after, local news reported a mudslide on the highway, fortunately with no casualties. Reading this news report brought a smile to my face. Shin sat down beside me. "You must have done well on the exams to be smiling like that while reading the news." I glanced at Teacher Chu watering flowers in the distance, then turned to Shin beside me. "Yes, really well. 13, even after the college entrance exams. Teacher Chu still worried about me. Your parents have gone too far this time. Why don't you stay with me before college? I've got a spare room anyway." "I appreciate your kindness, Professor Chu." I made up my mind. When I make something of myself someday, I'll repay Professor Chu and Sister Shin properly. The college entrance exam results are out. I ranked third in the city, a really impressive achievement. Both my school and local businesses awarded me some scholarships, all things considered. It added up to tens of thousands. Enough to cover my college tuition and living expenses. I gave 10,000 to Ms. Chu as a token of gratitude for her guidance. Teacher Chu accepted it, then immediately bought me a laptop, phone, and new clothes. I'd been teaching for years, money's not an issue, how could I actually take your money? Shin nodded, if you really want to repay us, study hard and make something of yourself. A wave of warmth flooded my heart, words of gratitude have been said too many times, this time I'd rather prove it through actions. At the graduation party, I saw Zhao Jiao and Zhou Ting again. Zhou Ting lounged on the couch like a lord while Zhao Jiao bustled around attending to him. I shook my head. Zhao Jiao's rebirth just meant finding a new master to serve. After enduring years of living at others' mercy, how could she not understand that relying on men is never as dependable as self-reliance? My classmates congratulated me one after another when they saw my outstanding exam results. Only Zhao Jiao let out an ill-timed snort. What's the point of acing exams? You'll still end up working for others. Meanwhile, I'm studying abroad with Zhou Ting. After graduation, I'll marry into his wealthy family as a lady of leisure. Her tactless remark offended half the room, and classmates quickly fired back. Jiao, why didn't you attend Peking University like Zhao Shui? Was it by choice? Sisters, yet worlds apart, one gets into a top school with scholarships, the other has to pay her way abroad. The gap isn't just in IQ, her ego's even bigger. Since when did gold digging become something to brag about? Flushing crimson with rage, Zhao clung to Zhou Ting's arm and whined, Zhou Ting, they're all bullying me. Zhou Ting slammed the table. Enough, aren't you ashamed enough already? Zhao flinched in fright, though spoiled by nature. She bit back her retort, remembering she still needed Zhou Ting's support. Her eyes reddened as she swallowed the humiliation. The private room felt stifling, so I stepped outside for air. Before long, Zhou Ting approached me, his gaze burning with predatory intent. Zhao Shui, you're far more interesting than your sister. I could take you abroad for studies, if you know how to behave. Zhou Ting looked down on everyone by nature. The truth was, he never saw me as human, just some plaything to manipulate at will. I shot Zhou Ting a glance and sneered, give up a top-tier university to follow you into exile. You wish, just as expected. The moment I clapped back, Zhou Ting immediately dropped the act, his face turning cold. Zhao Shui, me offering to take you abroad is me doing you a favor. Don't push your luck, fucking asshole. I couldn't be bothered to waste more words on him. Turning around, I headed back to the private room, leaving Zhou Ting fuming where he stood. On my way back, I ran into Zhao who was coming to meet Zhou Ting. Seeing us apart, Zhao visibly relaxed. Stay away from Zhou Ting, he's mine. Zhao sneered. Zhao Shui, you must be so proud of getting into that prestigious university, but mark my words, once I marry Zhou Ting, I'll be living the high life as a wealthy socialite. That worthless diploma of yours won't measure up to my status even after 30 years of slaving away. With a triumphant smirk, she strutted toward Zhou Ting as if she'd already won. Banking on marriage to change your fate is downright foolish. What's worse, the man Zhao set her sights on was nothing but trouble. Deep down, she knew exactly what kind of scoundrel Zhou Ting was. She'd just been blinded by his wealth. Watching her fawn over Zhou Ting with sickening sweetness, I averted my gaze. It's your choice to make. All I can do is respect and wish you well. 14. During summer break, I took on a tutoring job that kept my days fulfilling. One time when I came home, I saw Sister Shin, usually so cheerful, looking troubled while speaking with Teacher Chu, but when I approached, they immediately acted normal, urging me to wash up and join them for dinner. I asked, Sis Shin, are you having some trouble? Shin replied, just a minor thing. Teacher Chu put a chicken drumstick on my plate, saying, alright, let's eat. Shin can handle it, no need to worry. Since they didn't want me to know, I didn't press further, but I can't shake the feeling that Sister Shin's current troubles are somewhat connected to me. After asking around for days, I finally learned what's been troubling Shin. Zhou Ting held a grudge over Shin reprimanding her that day, and urged her parents to teach Shin a lesson. Zhou Ting's parents, who doted on their child excessively, immediately retaliated against Shin. Shin's business has taken a heavy blow. Though it was clearly my fault, neither Mr. Shin nor Professor Chu breathed a word about it to me. They never held it against me and continued treating me with kindness. My heart swelled with both gratitude and guilt. I wanted to do something for Mr. Shin, but I'm just a high school graduate with nothing to offer, no money, and not enough capability. Even with memories of past lives, I couldn't achieve anything significant. A profound sense of helplessness overwhelmed me as I wandered aimlessly through the streets. I came to a halt when I reached the lottery shop entrance. A long-forgotten memory surfaced in my mind. The year we graduated high school, someone won a 630 million yuan jackpot. A classmate joked in the group chat about memorizing the lottery numbers. If reincarnation's real, he'd be the next billionaire. I can't explain why, but I jotted it down anyway, having forgotten which draw the winner played. I resorted to the dumbest approach, buying tickets for every single draw, and so I kept buying lottery tickets for a whole month. Forget about hitting the jackpot, I didn't even win a measly $10 prize. Did I remember the wrong number? After all these years, it's only natural I'd mix up the numbers, but this isn't the outcome I wanted. Mr. Shin's company is struggling more each day, and I feel utterly frustrated being unable to help. Shin, on the other hand, took it all in stride, chatting and laughing with Teacher Chu. It's fine, I've still got you, haven't I? Teacher Chu chimed in, if Boss Shin ever goes bankrupt, I'll take care of you. Their relaxed and carefree attitude eased my guilt a little. Heaven still favors me. I hit the jackpot just 2 days before school started. After so much anticipation and repeated disappointments, surprisingly, I felt completely calm when I learned I'd won, mostly relief. Mr. Shin's company would be saved now. When I told Ms. Shin the news, she thought I was joking. After confirming I'd actually won the jackpot, Ms. Shin excitedly swept me into her arms. Her embrace was warm and sweetly fragrant. Ms. Shin used the money to pull through her difficulties. She's truly wonderful. Ms. Shin even insisted on transferring some company shares to me, saying she couldn't possibly take my money for nothing. The Zhou family spent a fortune trying to undermine Shin Seng's company. They eventually stopped harassing Shin Seng. After all, business is business, and nobody wants to keep losing money. 5 years flew by in the blink of an eye. During those years, I juggled my studies with starting a company using leftover prize money, leveraging memories from my past life to begin venture investments. There were ups and downs along the way, but I overcame every challenge. By the time I graduated, I'd become a rising star in the business world. Now even Zhou Ting's parents have to address me respectfully as President Zhao. Truth be told, Zhou Ting's parents haven't had it easy these years. Zhou Ting's parents were shady characters, and their company had its fair share of dirty dealings. Shin Seng and I never forgot the old grudges. Once our own business stabilized, we seized every opportunity to make them pay. Zhou Ting's parents were swamped with troubles as their company spiraled downward. During this time, my parents came sniffing around for money, trying to play the family card now that I'd made it big. Turns out they had no emotional leverage to play at all. What a joke. I couldn't be bothered with them, told security to keep them out, and blocked their numbers. They pulled the same old emotional blackmail routine, making a scene at my office, wailing, making threats, calling me an ungrateful wretch who abandoned them after making it big. When security asked them to leave, they assaulted the guard and sneered, "My daughter owns this place, lay one finger on me and see what happens." Then they started shamelessly screaming, "Assault, my ungrateful daughter is attacking her own parents who sacrificed everything to raise her, just to avoid paying our rightful support." They were absolutely certain I'd cave to their bullying like before and agree to their outrageous demands. But they'd forgotten I wasn't that pushover they used to control anymore. I called the cops immediately. The police treated them to a few days' hospitality at the station and made them compensate the security guards for medical bills and lost wages. After learning their lesson the hard way, they never bothered me again. I next saw Zhao Jiajiao and Zhou Ting at a charity gala after their return from abroad. 16. To be honest, I barely recognized Zhao Jiajiao at first glance. She'd aged considerably, her hair thinning, her eyes dull and lifeless. No amount of foundation could conceal her sallow, exhausted face. Rumor has it she was pregnant with Zhou Ting's child twice abroad, but he accidentally caused both miscarriages. Yet even so, she never considered leaving Zhou Ting. When Zhou Ting's alcoholism destroyed his liver overseas, Zhao Jiajiao still donated part of hers to him. The moment she returned home, she rushed to get married with him. Now, Zhao Jiajiao walked slightly hunched, following Zhou Ting's every step like a marionette on his strings. Having finally entered the glamorous social circle she'd long dreamed of, a faint smile played on Zhao Jiajia's lips, but it was a hollow smile, tinged with disappointment. Nothing turned out as she had imagined. Being the young mistress of the Zhou family brought her no respect. Now that the Zhous had fallen from grace, this daughter Vine clinging to Zhou Ting found herself utterly neglected. Zhou Ting walked in holding a drink, immediately striking up a conversation with another woman without so much as glancing her way. Zhao Jiajiao swallowed her anger in silence, pretending not to notice as she nursed her drink in miserable solitude. It wasn't until she saw me standing radiant under the spotlight, surrounded by well-wishers, that her lifeless eyes flickered with something new, hatred. When I finally found a quiet corner to sit, she approached me and hissed through clenched teeth, "Zhao Shui, you must be thrilled to see me in such misery." I replied with a beaming smile, "You've figured me out. How clever of you. In my past life, Zhao Jiajiao was the death of me. In this lifetime, she nearly destroyed me again. How could I not despise her? Zhao Jiao clenched her fists in rage. Zhao Shui, you vicious witch, you knew Zhou Ting was abusive and had ulterior motives approaching me, yet you stood by and watched me walk into this living hell. Her eyes burned not just with hatred, but murderous intent. 2 lifetimes, and she hasn't changed a bit. Her life was in shambles, yet she blamed neither her own poor choices nor the man who'd brought her to this point. The only one she hated was me, the one living better than her, the only safe target for her rage. I gave her a long, hard look. Even if I warned you, would you listen? You just think I'm jealous of your good fortune, trying to steal your golden opportunity. In this lifetime, I barely interacted with Zhou Ting, yet she still managed to sell me off in marriage. If I tried to reason with her, who knows what outrageous things she might do next. Zhao Jiao wouldn't hear it. If you truly meant well, why wouldn't I listen? If you have any conscience left, tell me how you won Zhou Ting over in our past life. I remember he treated you well eventually. What you achieved, I can achieve too. She's beyond redemption, even at rock bottom. She still pins her hopes on men to change her fate. Do you really want to know? Zhao Jiao nodded, her face darkening. Zhao Shui, are you refusing? I could tell you, but only if you get our parents to sign an agreement, one that severs all ties between them and me for good. No problem. Zhao Jiao agreed without hesitation. Within 2 days, Zhao Jiao had my parents sign that very agreement. Before signing the agreement, my parents looked at me with disappointment. Shui, how could you be so heartless? Raising you wasn't easy. How can you just cut ties with us like this? I gave them a sardonic smile. Surviving this family wasn't exactly a walk in the park either. Besides, I'm not forcing you to sign anything. Jiao cried out. Mom, Dad, you're not changing your minds, are you? My entire future happiness is in your hands. My parents avoided my gaze. We'll sign, of course we'll sign, your happiness comes first. Without hesitation, they signed their names on the spot. The corners of my lips curled up. I knew this would happen. After receiving the agreement, I told Zhao Jiao everything she wanted to know. 17. In my past life, Zhou Ting showed his true colors shortly after we married. He was volatile and abusive, beating me regularly for no reason. At first, I kept wondering if I'd done something wrong to deserve such treatment. Eventually I realized Zhou Ting was just a twisted psychopath. Once, we went on an overseas trip together. When we reached the Zhou family's villa there, I imprisoned him. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. Before the imprisonment, I studied numerous books on psychological manipulation to prepare thoroughly. I kept Zhou Ting captive for 4 months, conditioning him throughout that period. 4 months later, he became as docile as a lamb and never dared lay a finger on me again. Upon hearing this, Zhao Jiao couldn't wait to put it into practice. 18. 3 months later, the police came knocking, asking if I'd seen Zhao Jiao. Turned out Zhao Jiao had accidentally killed Zhou Ting after imprisoning him at home. Given her impatience for quick results, lack of theoretical knowledge, and Zhou Ting's naturally weak constitution, this outcome doesn't surprise me at all. Later, when Zhou Ting's parents hadn't heard from him for a while, they decided to visit him in person, fearing her scheme would be exposed. Zhao Jiao went all the way and murdered them too. She then set the place on fire, trying to stage it as an accidental blaze, but Zhao Jiao never expected that Zhou Ting's parents weren't completely dead. They managed to call the police with their dying breath. Seeing the police arrive, Zhao Jiao slipped away unnoticed and remains at large to this day. If you have any information on Zhao Jiao's whereabouts, please contact the authorities immediately. Alright. 19. Another half-month passed. That rich kid never married my sister. He just kept her as his mistress on the side. Out of nowhere, a woman in a baseball cap and surgical mask rushed at me, brandishing a knife. Before the assailant could reach me, undercover bodyguards swiftly subdued them. During the struggle, the attacker's cap fell off, revealing Zhao Jiao's face. Zhao Jiao's face was crisscrossed with burn scars, her entire body reeking of decay. It was clear these days in hiding hadn't been kind to Zhao Jiao. She thrashed wildly, screaming, Zhao Shui, you ruined me. I'll kill you. I could kill you once, I can kill you twice. I didn't bother exchanging more words with her. People like her never take responsibility. It's always someone else's fault when things go wrong. I immediately called the police and had them take her away. 20. Zhao Jiao's crimes were so heinous that the court sentenced her to death. The shock of this news gave my mother a stroke, leaving her wheelchair-bound for life. My father didn't fare much better. He fell seriously ill and lost his job. Being too old, he couldn't find decent work and had to make ends meet as a janitor. Ironically, he ended up working alongside that old bachelor who was supposed to be set up with me. The old bachelor held a grudge against him for not selling me to him and constantly bullied him. Serves you right. On my birthday, my father called me from someone else's phone. Shui Zhao, I know you hate us, but right now, your mother and I are your only family left. You can't just abandon us. We signed the agreement already. Whether you thrive or struggle, that's none of my concern. I glanced at Teacher Chu, who'd been cooking all afternoon for my birthday, and Sister Shinseng, who'd traveled specially to be here, then said, besides, I've already found my real family, people who truly love me. I hung up before he could say another word. That day, surrounded by the warm wishes of loved ones, I made a birthday wish for us to live out our days in peace and happiness. The end. Next story. After Song Kai and I were reborn together, we tacitly pretended that we didn't know each other. He followed the class beauty to go to college in another city, and I stayed in this city, relying on the experience of living an extra life. He quickly became a rising star in the industry, married a beautiful woman, and enjoyed great glory. I stayed with my parents and lived a happy life in my hometown. We met again at a class reunion 10 years later. He hugged the school beauty, smoked a cigar, looked at me in plain clothes, and said sarcastically, in the past 10 years, have you become like this? I am indifferent. Until the late business tycoon hugged me and said, excuse me, my wife is pregnant. I hope everyone will not smoke indoors. Song Kai, who was usually reserved and calm, was visibly panicked. He finally realized that I was not angry with him after so many years of separation. 1. The next time I met Song Kai was at a class reunion 10 years later. I pushed open the door of the private room and heard someone inside teasing, Song Kai, you are really good, you even got the class beauty. Nonsense. Don't you see how well Song Kai is doing in the big city now? How can ordinary people like us compare with Boss Song? But I heard that you and Ching were having an affair. You two often studied together, and everyone in the class said you were a couple. At that moment I heard a familiar voice casually say, it's just a learning partnership. Don't take it seriously. I smiled indifferently. It has been 10 years since I was reborn, so naturally I don't have any emotions anymore. So I calmly opened the door. Even though I hadn't seen him for 10 years, I recognized Song Kai at first sight. He was sitting on the sofa, smoking a cigar, with the class beauty Lin Ranran leaning in his arms. The classmates gathered around them. The two of them are like the moon surrounded by stars. The moment I appeared, everyone looked over at me. The squad leader immediately said enthusiastically, oh, if you mention the devil, he will appear. And Ching, look who's here. Song Kai and I looked at each other. He hugged Lin Ranran, looked me up and down with a frivolous look in his eyes, and a hint of disdain flashed in his eyes. I am dressed simply today. I didn't wear any makeup because I was pregnant. The whole person looked a little dusty. There's no comparison with Lin Ranran. She was wearing a Chanel dress, carrying an Hermes bag, and had exquisite makeup on, making her look like a very pampered person. I greeted them gracefully. Long time no see. Song Kai nodded slightly, very indifferent. Lin Ranran just smiled slightly. I didn't bother to please them, so I turned around and started chatting with some of my more familiar classmates. The only one missing is Lu Yan, the squad leader suddenly said. He just sent us a message saying that the plane is delayed and that we don't need to wait for him. All the students sat around the dining table. They all took the initiative to toast Song Kai and praised him highly. After 3 rounds of drinks, I went to the bathroom. As soon as I came out, I met Song Kai, whose face was red due to alcohol. He said sarcastically, and Ching, in the 10 years since you left me, have you become like this? I am indifferent. I just suddenly remembered what happened before we were reborn. 2. Before my rebirth, Song Kai and I had a fierce argument on the highway. The reason was that after graduating from university, I accompanied Song Kai to the big city and worked hard together for a full 10 years. Now that my career has been somewhat successful, I want to go back to my hometown. I am an only child. My father died last year because he suffered a cerebral hemorrhage and was not sent to the hospital in time. My mother is the only one left at home, and I am worried about her. Song Kai also promised me that he would go back once he made a certain amount of money, but now he keeps procrastinating, saying that there is no future in his hometown and it is not worth going back, and he told me clearly that he would never go back. At worst, I can bring my mother here to raise her. But my mother had been here a long time ago. She was not used to this city and had no relatives or friends around her. Not to mention my mom. I haven't felt a sense of belonging in this city for so many years. I finally couldn't help but get angry at him. If you don't go back, I will go back by myself. Do you really have to push me like this? Song Kai questioned me. What's wrong with staying in this city? Do you want to be a country bumpkin for the rest of your life? When our child is born, will we lose at the starting line? I am now 5 months pregnant. Also because I'm pregnant, I want to go back even more. I know how hard it is to leave a city once a child is born. Besides, my hometown is not bad. Although it is not an international first-tier city, it is also a quasi-first-tier city. And is not as bad as Song Kai said. According to you, people who stay in small cities are useless. Only useless people would be willing to live in a small city, muddle-headed all their lives, without any ambitions. Song Kai's face was full of contempt. I despise people like this the most. In your mind, this is who I am, right? I sneered. I don't want you to become such a person, Song Kai said righteously. Then he suddenly said, if I had known earlier, I shouldn't have chosen to stay in my hometown with you to go to college. It delayed me for 4 years. I should have come here earlier with Lin Ranran to work hard. Before graduating from high school, Lin Ranran confessed to him, but he rejected her. He and I have been study partners for 3 years, and we have already developed feelings for each other. But ever since he accompanied me to apply for university in my hometown, I don't know how many times these 14 years have been repeated. At first I thought he was just joking. Maybe he was telling me in disguise how good he was to me, how much he loved me, and how much he had sacrificed for me. Later I found out that he really felt very regretful. So after we had a car accident and were unexpectedly reborn together on the day of filling out college entrance examination applications, he had no choice but to follow Lin Ranran to go to college in another province. I stayed in this city. We both knew that the other had been reborn, but we both tacitly agreed not to interfere with each other. 3. I thought Song Kai and I would never have any contact with each other in this life. Looking at his appearance at this moment, it was obvious that he was waiting for me on purpose. Seeing that I didn't say anything, he sarcastically said, now you finally understand what great development you can achieve by staying in your hometown. Look at yourself. And then look at these old classmates, who is living a good life. But it's too late for you to regret. I've already planned to marry Lin Ranran. He took out a huge ring. The diamond is huge, about 5 carats. The reason I could tell it at a glance is that it looks a little smaller than the one I have at home. He said, if you hadn't done it, this ring would have belonged to you. When Song Kai and I got married in my previous life, he wasn't as rich as he is now, so the ring he bought was very ordinary. The show-off at this moment is also undisguised. Then congratulations, I said indifferently, walk right past him. I felt Song Kai's gaze behind me, and he seemed unhappy. I don't even know what he's upset about. He chose his own path, and the life he lives is what he dreamed of in his previous life. Could it be that he really needs to see me regretting things in order to be happy? I sat back in my dining chair when the phone rang. Looking at the incoming call, I answered it. Have you gotten off the plane? Yes, I'll be right there. If you're tired, then don't come over. I'll go back by myself later. How can you let your wife go to a class reunion by herself and then go back by herself? She'll be there in 20 minutes. I smiled and said nothing more. Putting down the phone, suddenly someone came over, and Ching, Lin Ranran took the initiative to bring over a glass of wine. Long time no see. I'll toast you a glass and thank you, Lin Ranran said with a smile. I heard from Akai that if you hadn't been his study partner, he wouldn't have been able to get into a 211 university. I can't say thank you. We just helped each other. No matter what, you have contributed to Kai's current success. I'll toast to you on his behalf. As he said this, he was about to pour beer into my glass. I don't drink, I refused. Just drink a little. She poured me a glass of wine despite my objections, and I pushed her away with my hand. Ah! Lin Ranran suddenly screamed. The beer spilled all over her clothes and bag. She quickly took a napkin and kept wiping it, saying, my clothes and bag can't get wet. The other students also knew that the set she was wearing was very valuable, and they all looked at her nervously. Lin Ranran wiped it for a long time, then said to me, and Ching, even if you are jealous of me, you can't do this to me. You damaged my clothes and bag. Can you afford to pay for it? 4. I haven't spoken yet. Song Kai walked over and angrily said, and Ching, you're going too far. I didn't mean to do that, I explained. I really didn't mean it, and it seemed that I didn't push the bottle of wine just now. I just stopped Lin Ranran from pouring the wine, but for some reason, the wine poured out of the beer bottle in her hand and spilled all over her. I just said that Ranran and I are getting married, and you got so upset. Song Kai ridiculed me in public. The students next to him couldn't help but talk about it. Really, I think In Ching is a very calm person. She wouldn't be jealous of others, right? Don't judge a person by his appearance. The more some people act as if they don't care, the more they care deep down. I heard that In Ching and Song Kai were together before, but they broke up after Song Kai went to college in another city. Now that In Ching sees that Song Kai is doing so well, she must be regretting not leaving with Song Kai, right? I am really speechless, but he still patiently explained again, I really didn't mean it just now, and I said I don't drink, but Lin Ranran insisted on pouring me some wine, so the accident happened. I sincerely thank you for accompanying Song Kai to practice the questions, and I hope you can let go of your obsession. Lin Ranran said sincerely, I know you have always been thinking about Song Kai. I was completely stunned. He looked at Lin Ranran in confusion. How did you know that I'm obsessed with Song Kai? Did I say something that made you misunderstand? Or was there something wrong with my expression or eyes today? And Ching, stop pretending, Lin Ranran said firmly. Song Kai is doing so well now. It's impossible for you not to feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry. I spoke each word clearly. I chose my own path. I am very satisfied with my current life. Song Kai sneered and didn't believe it at all. I don't want to explain either. There is nothing to explain. They are just unrelated people. Today's meeting was just an accident. If I had known Song Kai would come, I might have avoided him. It's not that there is something that I can't let go of, but there is no need to meet people from the previous life again. People from the previous life should stay in the past. I'll compensate you for the clothes and bags. I didn't want to waste any more time talking to them, so I said, send me the price and your bank account number, and I'll transfer the money to you. Compensation, Song Kai asked directly. Do you know how much Ranran's clothes and bag cost? The clothes cost 150,000. The bag cost 300,000, not including the accessories. The cheapest price is 450,000. What are you going to use to compensate? I took a deep breath. I told myself not to be angry about Song Kai's contempt for others. The doctor said pregnant women should maintain a good mood. I'm not such a petty person. Just apologize to Ranran and let it go. Song Kai said magnanimously. You can't just apologize. Lin Ranran quickly added. You have to promise in front of all your classmates that you won't have any improper thoughts about Song Kai in the future. 5. Oh, I laughed. I was so angry that I laughed, looking at Lin Ranran's arrogant look. I picked up the half-spilled wine bottle next to me. The doctor said that pregnant women should not get angry, but they should not hold their breath either. Then, I slowly poured the half bottle of wine onto Lin Ranran's clothes and bag. Lin Ranran was frightened. She looked at me in disbelief, and after a long while she said, and Ching, are you crazy? What are you doing? At the same time, Song Kai also protected Lin Ranran behind him and pushed me, fortunately. The squad leader behind me quickly protected me and stood in front of me, fearing that Song Kai would impulsively do something unmanageable. He advised, Song Kai, don't get excited, and Ching, I gave you face, didn't I? Song Kai said fiercely, how dare you treat Lin Ranran like this? Who do you think you are? I don't need you to give me face, and I don't think of myself as anyone else. I am just myself, I said coldly. He added, since I agreed to pay the compensation. The clothes and bags she was wearing are mine. How I ruined them is my business. Is it your business? Can you afford the compensation? Song Kai asked me harshly. Give me the bank account number. I said word by word. Are you going to lose everything just because of a fight? And Ching, you should have curbed your stubborn temper a long time ago. Otherwise we wouldn't be like this today. Give me your bank account number. I repeated, my voice a little louder. Don't regret it. Song Kai threatened. Akai, stop talking nonsense to her. Lin Ranran yelled at him. She was about to explode with anger. Since she doesn't appreciate it, then give her the account number and see if she can afford to pay so much money. Song Kai did not hesitate any longer and said a string of numbers. I entered my bank account number and transferred the money directly, but the system reminded me that the password was wrong. I remember this is the password, after thinking for a while. He entered another password, still prompts an error. I pursed my lips. Is it true that pregnancy makes people stupid for 3 years? Suddenly I can't remember it. Song Kai and Lin Ranran were waiting on the side, and my classmates were looking at me, watching such a great show. See, I haven't turned out yet. Lin Ranran laughed first, and Ching, weren't you quite arrogant just now? Where's the money? Why didn't I see any extra money in Akai's account, at this moment? Song Kai was also holding his mobile phone in his hand, but there was no notification of the money arriving. I forgot my password, I explained. I'm afraid if I make another mistake, my account will be locked. What a good excuse. Lin Ranran was extremely sarcastic. Song Kai smiled contemptuously. The classmates around me were also whispering. I thought Ching really had to pay compensation. I felt so bad for her. Who is so stupid? 450,000 is half a house, originally. Song Kai and Lin Ranran didn't care, but Ching insisted on doing it herself. You've been slapped in the face now, haven't you? You're embarrassed now, aren't you? Lin Ranran asked me coldly. So, are you going to write an IOU? How long will it take to pay it back? 1 year, 2 years, or a lifetime? 10 minutes, I said bluntly. In 10 minutes, Lu Yan finally arrived. don't pretend, and Ching, you can't afford to pay me back. Lin Ranran didn't want to waste time with me. You could have just apologized verbally, but now you have to kneel down and beg me. Everybody is laughing at me. Fortunately, the next moment, the door was suddenly pushed open, accompanied by a familiar voice. Sorry, I'm late. 6. Lu Yan walked in. Everyone looked over there. He apologized. The plane was delayed. I'm late. Having said that, he walked straight to my side. He looked at the scene in front of him and noticed something strange. What's wrong? It's just a small misunderstanding. The class monitor quickly tried to smooth things over, and said to Lin Ranran and Song Kai, we are all classmates, there is no need to make things so awkward, can you give me some face, squad leader? It's not that we don't give you face, it's Ching who doesn't know what's good for her, Lin Ranran said arrogantly. I didn't bother with her at first, but she insisted on pouring wine on me, no matter how much I don't care. She still has to give me an explanation, right, really? Lu Yan turned his head and looked at me, with a smile on his face. You poured wine on someone, Lu Yan. I heard that you had a crush on Ching when you were in school. I don't want to discredit her in front of you, but she is really too much, just because she was jealous of me and Song Kai being together. She deliberately picked a fight with me and even soiled my clothes and bag. You come from a well-off family, so you should recognize the brand on me, right? Are you jealous of Lin Ranran? Lu Yan asked me with a frown. What do you think? I asked him back. There's nothing to be jealous of, Lu Yan said to himself. Lin Ranran was a little unhappy. Lu Yan, is it possible that after so many years, you still like Ching? Yes. It has never changed, Lu Yan admitted generously. The other students were very surprised. They don't know that Lu Yan and I are married. In fact, Lu Yan has been pursuing me for many years, but I have never agreed. I don't want to go through a marriage like the one with Song Kai again. Neither of us made any principled mistakes, but it was just suffocating. Later, I gradually discovered that Lu Yan and Song Kai were actually different. There is no need for me to live in the past. Always look forward. Plus, my parents started urging me to fall in love and get married, so she agreed to date Lu Kai, and they got their marriage certificate this year. Because I found out I was pregnant shortly after getting the marriage certificate, we postponed the wedding and didn't have time to inform anyone. It's because of her that I came to the class reunion today, Lu Yan said frankly, and then turned around and asked me, so what's the situation now? I forgot my bank card password. Can you transfer 450,000 yuan to Song Kai's bank card as compensation to Lin Ranran? I replied, give me the card number. Lu Yan took out his cell phone. Lin Ranran was stunned. Song Kai's expression also became visibly ugly. Lu Yan, this is between us and Ching. You'd better not interfere. Ching, you're going too far. You soiled my clothes and asked Lu Yan to pay for it. Do you really think Lu Yan is a sucker? You treat people like this just because they like you, Lin Ranran said unconvinced. They all knew that Lu Yan came from a well-off family. When we were in high school, he picked us up in a Mercedes-Benz. 7. I am happy to do so, Lu Yan said with great pride. I am willing to be needed by her. Lin Ranran was so angry that she couldn't speak. She was going to embarrass me. As for why she dislikes me so much, I don't know. No matter what happened between Song Kai and I happened 800 years ago. So there's no need to worry about it. Is this the card number? Lu Yan entered the bank card number and asked Song Kai to confirm. Song Kai took a look, said nothing with a cold face. Lu Yan did not delay and transferred the money. Song Kai received a text message reminder of the arrival of his account. Lin Ranran turned her head to take a look and said in disbelief, Lu Yan, you really helped Ching pay 450,000. What else? Lu Yan said impatiently. Now that I've compensated you, can you go back to your own position? Lin Ranran gritted her teeth. She glanced at Song Kai. Song Kai said nothing and walked away with a gloomy face. Lin Ranran hurriedly followed Song Kai back to their original position. Song Kai picked up the remaining cigar in front of him and started smoking again. The squad leader was inviting everyone to eat and drink. Lu Yan sat next to me, watching Song Kai smoking, frowning. Sorry Song Kai, my wife is pregnant, please don't smoke indoors. Song Kai was stunned for a moment. I didn't react to Lu Yan's words for a moment. Lin Ranran was also very surprised and asked quickly, your wife? Who is your wife? Isn't it obvious? Lu Yan chuckled. He took me in his arms and introduced me openly. We just got the marriage certificate and haven't held the wedding banquet yet, so we haven't had time to inform everyone. But because Ching got pregnant unexpectedly, the wedding will be postponed. Are you married to Ching? Lin Ranran's voice became shrill. Is there a problem? Lu Yan asked Lin Ranran. Lin Ranran was instantly embarrassed, blushed, and felt ashamed. She just said arrogantly that I was jealous of her and Song Kai being together, and scolded me for being poor. But as everyone knows, Lu Yen was a top student in school during his student days. In addition to his good family background, his academic performance was also among the best in the school. After graduating from university, he started his own business. His current business achievements are no worse than Song Kai, and are even slightly better. It's just that the two people developed in different cities. There is no intersection, but both of them must have heard about each other's achievements among their classmates. That's why Lin Ranran is so ashamed at this moment. The eyes of the classmates around her when they looked at Lin Ranran also changed. Suddenly I felt that she was a bit contemptuous. Of course, I never thought about showing off my relationship with Lu Yen when I was with him. What I valued was never his money, identity, or status, but the fact that we shared the same ideals. After living my life again, I now deeply understand how important it is for two people to have the same values. Otherwise, no matter how beautiful the love is, it will eventually be buried in the grave of marriage. After announcing my relationship with Lu Yen, all my classmates actively and proactively toasted us. Lu Yen defended himself and said, "My wife can't drink alcohol. She can only drink milk." "I understand. We won't be like some people who take advantage of their wealth to bully others," a classmate said ambiguously. For a time, the public opinion among classmates changed completely. Lin Ranran's face looked extremely ugly. She looked at Song Kai with a face full of grievance, hoping that Song Kai could speak for her. But Song Kai's eyes were not on her at all. Instead, he looked straight at me. I didn't want to respond to him, but I felt a little uncomfortable with Song Kai's gaze, so I turned to look over. 8. Song Kai's eyes were a little red, like very angry. I don't know what he is angry about. Isn't it the best arrangement for everyone to be well now? Lu Yen seemed to have noticed Song Kai's look. He chuckled and said, "Mr. Song, are you dissatisfied with my marriage to Enqing?" Song Kai withdrew his gaze, crushed the cigar fiercely, drank his wine by himself, and said nothing. Lu Yen didn't waste time on him. He hugged me and gathered with his classmates. "Everybody is congratulating us. It is said that after all these years, Lu Yen finally saw the moon through the clouds. They say Lu Yen and I are a match made in heaven." The class reunion was very lively and was not affected by the unpleasant incident just now. In fact, the atmosphere was even better because of Lu Yan's arrival. Everyone also focused their attention on Lu Yan and me, and Song Kai and Lin Ranran, who were originally popular, were ignored. The two of them also became unexpectedly low-key. Even before the class reunion was over, Song Kai slammed the door and left. Lin Ranran hurriedly followed Song Kai and left. "What's that sudden look on his face?" A classmate looked at Song Kai speechlessly as he left. Another classmate echoed, "He thinks he can look down on others just because he has been in a big city for a few years. We are just giving him some face and support because we are classmates. Does he really think he is so great?" I really don't envy Song Kai. He is doing well in the big city, but there is no need for him to act so superior in front of his classmates, as if we are inferior to him. That's right. Everyone has their own way of life to choose, and no one is nobler than anyone else. The classmates were somewhat dissatisfied with Song Kai's attitude today. "I'm used to it." Song Kai looks down on people from small cities from the bottom of his heart. I believe that people from small cities have never seen the world and are not on the same level. After the class reunion, Lu Yan and I sat in the car. Lu Yan drank some wine and was a little drunk. He said sourly, "It seems Song Kai hasn't forgotten you yet." Impossible, I was sure. He just couldn't bear to see me living a good life. In his opinion, if I stayed in a small city, I would waste my time and regret it for the rest of my life. But I didn't expect that I would actually settle down here. He finally realized that I was not angry with him after so many years of separation. Lu Yan didn't say anything more. He just held me tightly in his arms and whispered in my ear, "I should thank him for abandoning you back then." It's hard to say who abandoned whom. I always felt that this was a choice made by both of us, so I never hated Song Kai at all. If he hadn't suddenly appeared in front of me, I would have probably really forgotten him. 9. However, the next day, I received a call from Song Kai, who said, "Enqing, let's meet." I refused directly. "What else is there for us to meet? I'll be waiting for you at Iceland Coffee." After saying that, Song Kai hung up the phone. He seemed certain that I would go, just like in my previous life. He can accurately grasp my personality. No matter who is right or wrong in our dispute, the final result will definitely be what Song Kai wants. Otherwise, in my previous life, Song Kai wouldn't have asked me to live with him in another place for 10 years. This time, I did as he wished and went. There will also be a little curiosity. What on earth does he want to do? By the way, let me make it clear. We will never have any contact with each other again from now on. I walked into the cafe. The moment Song Kai saw me, I saw a smile of success in his eyes. In his mind, I am so easy to control. I sat down in front of him and asked straight to the point, "What's the matter, cappuccino or mocha?" Song Kai asked me, "Boiled water." I said bluntly, "I'm pregnant, so I can't drink coffee." I saw Song Kai's expression change slightly, but in the end, nothing was said. He asked the waiter to give me a glass of boiled water. He said, "And Qing, I didn't expect you to be with Lu Yan. When you were in school, didn't you say you didn't like him?" "People change," I said coldly. "Didn't you reject Lin Ranran's confession back then? Aren't you still with her now?" "It's because," Song Kai didn't say the words that were on the tip of his tongue, "I wasn't interested either, so I just said, in marriage, only you know the ups and downs, whether it's right for you or not, only you know it." "What do you mean? Are you saying that our marriage in the previous life was inappropriate?" Song Kai was a little angry. "Why else?" I admitted. "Why else would we go our separate ways?" "I'm just teaching you a lesson," Song Kai said angrily. "I'm just making you understand that your obsession in your previous life was wrong. Once you regret it, come to me and we can reconcile." I just looked at Song Kai, didn't laugh either, not angry either. I just feel helpless. I asked Song Kai in confusion, "Why do you feel so superior?" "Because everything I did was right," Song Kai said firmly. "My choice was right. Look at the students around me. How many of those who stayed in the local area have achieved great success? Yes, Lu Yan has done well, but it's because of his family background. Without the help of his family, Lu Yan would still be useless. Only I, relying on my own hands, have made a name for myself in this international metropolis." Song Kai became more and more excited as he spoke. I drank boiled water and didn't interrupt him. It was not until he saw that I had remained silent that he angrily asked, "Why don't you speak? Everything you said is right. What can I say help you?" "And Qing, there's no need to be so sarcastic. Is it so difficult to admit that others are excellent?" 10. "Yes, you are indeed excellent," I affirmed. "It is not easy to survive on your own in a strange city, let alone Song Kai is doing so well." I saw an uncontrollable smile of satisfaction on Song Kai's face. I continued. "I have never thought that your ambition is wrong. I have never denied your achievements. Looking at the development of the world, it really needs positive people like you to create greater value for society. But Song Kai, your choice is right. Does that mean others' choices are necessarily wrong? What qualifications do you have to judge or even ridicule other people's lives? You have broadened your horizons in the big city, given yourself a better life, and made greater contributions to society. This is your responsibility to society, but where is your responsibility towards your family? Have you ever thought about your parents? Don't they want you to stay with them? Yes, the money you give them is enough for their retirement, but when people reach a certain age, they really feel that some things are more important than money." I didn't finish my sentence. Song Kai couldn't listen anymore. He said, "And Qing, I don't want to listen to your lectures." Yes, there's no way he would listen to my ideas. In his mind, no one can change what he has determined. That's why I realize so deeply how important it is for two people to have the same values. I won't say any more. The two were silent for a while. Song Kai suddenly said, "And Qing, I won't beat around the bush. I came to you today to ask you if you are willing to go back with me." I was stunned for a moment, thinking I had heard it wrong. Song Kai looked at me and sighed. "Yes, just consider it as me giving in to you. Come back with me now, and we will pretend that the past 10 years have never happened. The only condition is that you abort the baby in your belly." I was silent for a long time before I digested what Song Kai said. I thought Song Kai asked me to meet him today just to show off how well he was doing and how much I'd lost by leaving him. I came to see him today to tell him that I am living a good life now and have never regretted it for a second. I never thought that he would ask for peace. The two people have long been people from two different worlds. "Are you too happy?" Song Kai saw that I didn't say anything and asked me with raised eyebrows. "Song Kai, are you crazy?" I finally couldn't help it and raised my voice a little louder. Song Kai looked extremely ugly. "I'm married now, pregnant, and have a very stable and happy family, and you already have a fiancé and have established yourself in the big city, and now you ask me to be with you." I was really speechless. Is it that I can't admit your excellence, or that you can't stand seeing me do well? Song Kai was embarrassed by what I said. He retorted, "And Qing, I know you have been angry with me for the past 10 years. Isn't it because I didn't fulfill your wish to go back to your hometown? Okay, I promise you, when I go back and take care of the work, I will accompany you back to your hometown and stay with your parents." I looked at Song Kai in silence. Song Kai thought I was thinking, and said generously, "I know it's difficult for you to make a decision right now, I'm leaving the day after tomorrow, just give me your reply before the day after tomorrow. No need to wait until the day after tomorrow. I will answer you now. 11. Song Kai looked at me, somewhat surprised. He said, have you thought about it? No need to think about it, Song Kai. I have my own life now. What happened between us is long gone. The moment we were reborn, we made the choice. I don't need you to wrong yourself, give up your big city, and give up your pursuit of life. And Ching, you'd better think it over carefully. I won't lower myself to seek peace with you like I did today next time. If your purpose today is just for the whole, then there is no need for us to waste any more time. I stood up directly. Goodbye. Never see you again. And Ching, Song Kai grabbed me. There was a flash of panic in his eyes. I'd done this much. What else are you dissatisfied with? Song Kai asked me harshly. What have you done? Just one sentence from you has brought us back together after 10 years of separation. Why, Song Kai? So what do you want from me? Song Kai gritted his teeth and said. I'll try my best to satisfy you. I don't need anything. I just want you to stay away from me. And Ching, enough of your temper. Just think of it as me being naughty. I couldn't explain it to him clearly, and I didn't care what he was thinking. I will continue to be naughty in the future. So Mr. Song, don't waste your time on me. And Ching, what do you want? Song Kai was a little upset. Do you want me to kneel down and beg you? Admit that I still like you. Admit that you are the only one I want in my life. I looked at Song Kai. What he said today overturned my perception of him. Seeing me suddenly fall silent, Song Kai softened his tone a lot. Let's just treat these 10 years as a dream, and let's start over. I chose to leave because I was angry with you, not because I didn't love you anymore. How can you be angry? I laughed sarcastically. You just walked the path you wanted to walk, and finally found that you were not so happy. So you wanted to go back and start over. Song Kai was very excited, as if he was angry out of shame. He said, when did I regret it? Do I need to regret my current achievements? I said a word and Lin Ranran wanted to give birth to a child for me immediately. What you think is really not important to me at all, I said calmly. From the moment you followed Lin Ranran to go to study abroad, there is no relationship between us anymore. And Ching, stop pretending. You just can't accept that I left you. You just can't let go of your pride and reconcile with me. But I'm giving you a way out now. I really can't accept that you left with Lin Ranran without hesitation. I admit that I felt lost after my rebirth. I didn't expect Song Kai to make up his mind so quickly and do it so decisively. I thought that after so many years of our relationship, he would be somewhat hesitant. But not at all. During that time I felt like a joke. It was from that moment that I let go of all my obsession with you. I looked at Song Kai. If you hadn't suddenly appeared in front of me now, I wouldn't even remember you. And Ching, I don't care whether you believe it or not. This is what I really think. I hope you will never appear in front of me again and disturb my happy, fulfilling and desirable life. I shook off Song Kai's hand fiercely and walked away without looking back. 12. I thought that since I had talked so much and had such an unpleasant experience with Song Kai, our relationship was completely over. There will never be any intersection again. Even if we meet by chance, we will just be strangers. But I didn't expect that half a month later, I received another message from Song Kai. And Ching, I'm back and I'm never leaving again. I was totally stunned. I clearly recognize all the words above, but now I suddenly can't understand their meaning. Can we meet once? I turned off my phone immediately, just treat it as an illusion. But when I got off work, I saw Song Kai standing at the company gate waiting for me. After I became pregnant, Lu Yan actually suggested that I stop working. But I felt that it would be more boring to be alone at home, and it would also make me more prone to prenatal depression, so I insisted on going to work. And Ching, Song Kai walked up to me holding a large bouquet of flowers. I'm really a little disgusted. Wasn't what I said clear enough? I asked him, didn't you want me to let you come back to me just because of one word from me? Now I have taken care of all my business outside the city, and I will come back here to develop with peace of mind in the future. I will never leave again, Song Kai promised. Do you really think that things have turned out like this between us just because I want to go back home and you want to stay away, otherwise? How could we drift apart when we love each other so much? We drifted apart because we both made our own choices, because we both gave up on each other. I haven't given up on you. Song Kai was very excited. I know you are living a good life now. Lu Yan treats you very well. He is willing to stay with you in the city you like. He can give you excellent living conditions. But I can give you all these now. You know I'm doing fine. Why are you still bothering me? Because the one you really like in your heart is me, Song Kai said firmly. You only chose to be with Lu Yan because of my departure. Now that I'm back, you shouldn't go against your heart. I didn't laugh at Song Kai's self-righteousness. After all, I really loved him back then, which gave him the confidence to say those words. Song Kai, Do you know that love will lead to disappointment and disappear? I looked at Song Kai. Song Kai's eyes were red. He probably didn't expect that I would really be so indifferent to him. He was so indifferent that he really couldn't feel any emotion from me. In my last life, I accompanied you to another place for development. You promised me that you would come home, but in the end you said you would never come back. I have never questioned your pursuit of your career, and you have indeed succeeded. I am angry because you should not have lied to me. From the moment you asked me to accompany you to another place, you never thought about coming back, right? Song Kai made excuses for himself. I was afraid that you wouldn't go with me. I really love you and I'm afraid of losing you. After your rebirth, you followed Lin Ranran to another place without a second thought. Didn't you ever think about losing me? Song Kai was speechless. He said painfully. I thought you loved me enough and would always wait for me. I didn't expect you would really be with another man. Because I'm with other men, you can't accept it, so you come back to me, right? 13, and Ching, I really like you. Lin Ranran and I are just together for a short period of time. The person I love from the beginning to the end is you, Song Kai said affectionately. The more I listened, the more disgusted I felt. You don't like Lin Ranran. But you wasted 10 years of someone else's youth. You said you like me. But you insisted that I submit to you. Now you find that everything is out of your control. You start to panic and regret. Don't you think your behavior is dirty? I'm sorry, Song Kai suddenly apologized. He didn't seem to know how to defend himself. I'm sorry and Ching, can you forgive me this time? I will never let you down again. Song Kai took out the ring from his arms. It was the wedding ring he said he would give to Lin Ranran. He said, and Ching, do you still remember this ring? We didn't buy it when we got married because we didn't have enough money, but I promised you that I would give it to you. I came back this time because I wanted to get back together with you. I bought this ring especially for you. Do you know why Lin Ranran targeted you at the class reunion? Because she knew that I wanted to get back together with you. I laughed when I heard it. It turned out that at the class reunion, he wanted to get back together with me. But the way he got back together was not to be nice to me proactively, but to intimidate me, let me go back and beg him with a smug face. I didn't want to say more, but looking at the ring, I couldn't help but say, I remember in my last life, you didn't give me any money even though you had it. I was too busy in my previous life. No, it's only after you lose something that you realize you should cherish it. Even if it's my fault, it's all my fault. And Ching, can you give me another chance? Marry me and we'll start over. This time, I'll give you everything you want. Speaking of, Song Kai knelt down and proposed to me at the company gate. Maybe I loved him too much in my previous life, which is why he was so confident that as long as he came back, we would be back to normal. I shook my head and rejected it coldly. There is no chance. And Ching, I really gave up the development of the big city for you. That's your choice. It has nothing to do with me. I interrupted him. And I've said it before, the city is not the main reason for our separation. It's your actions time and time again that make me feel disappointed. I'll change it. You won't change. Everything you do has a purpose. I didn't need to show him mercy. You know I loved you very much, so you can use my feelings to deceive me unscrupulously. You know that even if I find out in the end, I will forgive you. You bought the ring not because I liked it, but because you wanted to keep me in this way, because you found that I really don't care about you anymore. You chose to stay now, not for me, but because your parents are old, and your mother suddenly fell ill. They need you to come back and stay with them to take care of them, but Lin Ranran will not stay here with you, so you thought of me. I said it calmly, even laughed, because I realized that I really didn't care at all, even though he knew that Song Kai's motives were all impure. He would not have any emotional fluctuations. I watched Lu Yen walk towards me from a distance. I know he is waiting for me. He respects all my decisions. He also has enough confidence, because of how good he is to me. Song Kai can never compare to him. 14. Wife, can we go now? Lu Yen asked me while hugging my body. I nodded. He didn't even look at Song Kai anymore. We turned and left. I made up my mind to stay. Really because of you, not Lin Ranran, nor my parents, Song Kai said loudly behind us. I stopped and said, even without these so-called purposes, I can't be with you again, Song Kai. I don't love you anymore. I just don't love you anymore. Really, I can't remember any of the good times I had with Song Kai. The happiness I see now is within my sight. They were all given by Lu Yen. After that, I never gave Song Kai any chance to get close to me. I blocked his mobile number and never answered any calls from unknown numbers. I submitted my resignation, originally. Lu Yen felt sorry for me working outside and said that he could support me. He was really worried that I would be bored at home so I could go to his company. I refused before because I didn't want to become too dependent on him. Now, I deeply feel that we are a family. A few months later, I gave birth to a daughter. Half a year later, Lu Yan and I had a grand wedding. Many old classmates were invited, of course not Song Kai. When Lu Yan and I went to toast at our classmates' table, we heard a classmate say, Song Kai hasn't been out of town for more than a year. I heard that he and Lin Ranran broke up. Song Kai's mother passed away a few days ago. Another classmate said, fortunately, Song Kai stayed at home with her for more than a year. Otherwise, how could I feel at ease? I went to the funeral a few days ago. Song Kai looked very different. He was not as radiant as he was at our class reunion last year. He looked lifeless. It is said that when his mother died, her biggest regret was that she did not have a grandson. Could it be that Song Kai has been obsessed with Lin Ranran? No, a female classmate whispered. Lin Ranran was willing to stay in her hometown for Song Kai, and took the initiative to ask Song Kai for peace, but was rejected by Song Kai. Lin Ranran said that Song Kai could not forget. She glanced at me and didn't finish her words. I know it's not appropriate to say such things in this situation. I pretended not to hear anything and calmly drank my wedding wine and greeted the guests. After the wedding, Lu Yan and I returned home tired. I was too tired to move. Lu Yan is sorting out the gifts we received. Then he suddenly called me, and Qing, there is a private red envelope for you. Lu Yan gave it to me. I saw the name Song Kai on the red envelope. I didn't see him today. I looked at Lu Yan. Lu Yan smiled and said, I didn't see it either. I opened the red envelope and saw a ring inside. There was also a letter and a gift worth about 888 yuan. I opened the letter. 15, and Qing, happy wedding. I know you didn't want to see me, but I couldn't help but come to your wedding. I shouldn't have let you find out. I just want to come and see you, to see if you are really happy. Then I'll probably give up. I'll probably really face reality. You really don't love me anymore, not in love at all. I still arrogantly thought that as long as I looked back, you would be waiting for me there. You are absolutely right. When I was reborn, I left not just to be angry with you. I always thought that without you, I could be happy with anyone else, and I could still live a good life. In the past few years, I have indeed enjoyed unprecedented freedom. I don't have to consider your mood. I don't have to be forced to eat breakfast by you. I won't be scolded by you for coming back drunk from social events, and I don't have to be nagging by you to go back to my hometown every day. But suddenly one day, I began to miss you. I miss the meals you cooked. I miss you sitting in the living room waiting for me no matter how late I get home from social events. I miss you holding me tightly in your arms. I've thought about you for a long time, but I never came to see you. I stubbornly believe that you should be the one to give in between us, because your choice is wrong, until I finally couldn't bear it anymore. I want to be with you so much that I even often call Lin Ranran by your name. So, I came back and attended the class reunion. When I saw you dressed simply, I naively thought I won. You are having such a hard time. If I ask you to come back to me now, you will definitely not refuse. But reality slapped me hard in the face. The way you look at me, there's no love in it. I thought I could use money to suppress you, but I didn't expect that you married Lu Yan and you were pregnant. Not only do you have enough money, you also have enough love. I started to panic. I didn't know what to do to get you back to me. I always told myself that you chose Lu Yan only because you were angry with me. The person you love is me. You loved me so much in my previous life. It's impossible for you to just stop loving me, so I came to you shamelessly. I think I have a chance of winning. I can give you everything that Lu Yan can give you, and you love me more, and you will be moved by me. Now that I think about it, I was really just bringing shame upon myself. Why should I abandon you and still feel justified in thinking that you will wait for me here forever? I'm really selfish and dark. He hugged Lin Ranran, looked me up and down with a frivolous look in his eyes, and a hint of disdain flashed in his eyes. Man, will I know that no matter what I say, it's useless. I'm just really sad, and Qing, my heart hurts so much. I went to the hospital to see you on the day you gave birth. I saw Lu Yan holding your child, and I saw the joy of being a father for the first time on his face. I thought of the unborn child we had in our previous life. I was really looking forward to his coming, and I was ready to be a father. But again, I missed it. Sorry, Qing. Sorry. I wish you happiness forever. I looked at the letter helplessly, with mixed feelings. Song Kai's current mood is probably the same as how I felt when I saw Song Kai leave without looking back when I was just reborn, even though I always tell myself to respect the other person's choice. But when the night is quiet, I will still break down, feel unwilling, feel pain, and feel unbearable. But now, it's all over. I don't know how long it will take Song Kai to get over it. Really, it doesn't matter anymore. I threw the letter into the trash. I didn't see the words on the back of the envelope, and Qing, I will be waiting for you outside your wedding room tonight. Lu Yan watched my actions and smiled at me from the side. He said, wife, a night of love is worth 1,000 gold. We turned out the lights. The long night, no longer alone. Story 2. After a car accident, I was sent back to my high school days. As soon as I returned, I saw my elder brother leading a group of wealthy young men bullying Gujin. My elder brother threw Gujin's textbooks into the lake, grabbed his collar, and laughed arrogantly. "Come on, make a dog's bark and let us hear it." Who would have thought that this penniless young man in front of us would later become a business tycoon, drive my family into bankruptcy, and force me to be his canary, having a second chance at life? I must stop my elder brother from courting disaster and, at the same time, try my best to please the vengeful Mr. Gu. 01. I was reborn. And when I woke up, I saw my elder brother bullying Gujin. My elder brother, Zhang Baichen, is a young master from a wealthy family. He bullies others by relying on his family's power and is really not a good person. Zhang Baichen threw Gujin's textbooks into the lake, grabbed his collar, and asked him to bark like a dog. The surrounding classmates let out harsh laughter, while Gujin endured it without saying a word, until Zhang Baichen sneered evilly. "Gujin, I heard that your mother is a foolish woman who picks up trash. I don't know which man bullied her and made her give birth to you. You're a dirty and disgusting bastard. Just being around you makes me feel cheap." Suddenly, Gujin was like a rabid wild dog, his eyes bloodshot, and he punched my elder brother in the face. My elder brother had practiced fighting hard and had never lost a fight before, yet he was caught off guard by Gujin's punch. Gujin fought without any rules, relying solely on his ferocity. When he went crazy, he didn't care about his own life. This scared my elder brother's lackeys so much that they didn't dare to step forward. Soon, my elder brother was at a disadvantage. I had just been reborn and was still digesting the scene in front of me. Like someone waking up from a dream, I rushed forward and hugged Gujin's arm. "Stop fighting." In my memory, Gujin often worked out, and his arms were stronger than those of an ordinary teenager. Every time the man came to the villa to see me, I couldn't get any sleep. Even crying and begging for mercy didn't help. It would only make him angrier. Those memories were deeply ingrained in my bones. When our eyes met, I instinctively feared him. Gujin's body visibly stiffened. The ferocity on his face hadn't faded away, but he finally stopped. His gaze shifted to my arm, and his black eyes trembled slightly. There were several scars across my white arm, which were whipped by my father with a belt. Why was I beaten? I remembered. It was because Gujin got the first place in the exam, and I dropped to the second place. My father punished me for that. My father, Zhang Jianming, advocated elite education and had very strict requirements for my elder brother and me. He didn't allow me to lose to a poor boy. My elder brother thus hated Gujin and took the lead in bullying him. In my previous life, although I had dissuaded my elder brother from doing this, I was also somewhat resentful and unwilling. In the end, I didn't intervene in this matter. So when Gujin took his revenge later, I was also punished and became a little thing for him to relieve his desires. I pulled down my sleeve to cover the scars. Gujin silently jumped into the water to fish out the textbooks. On the other side, a group of people were fawning over Zhang Baichen. Zhang Baichen covered his nose that was bleeding nonstop, burning with anger. He wanted to fight again. I stopped him, feeling both distressed and angry. "Brother, stop here." "I can't stop. I will definitely find a chance to teach him a good lesson next time." Zhang Baichen spat out a mouthful of blood foam and walked towards the infirmary surrounded by his followers. I was about to follow him to the infirmary. When I looked back, I saw Gujin climbing onto the shore. There were injuries on his face, and the textbooks in his hand were already soaked and damaged. He clenched his fists. The blue veins on his arms were clearly visible, and water was dripping from his body. Well, he was a proper beautiful young man with battle injuries. Why should I accompany this annoying brother? The most important thing now is to quench the little spark of hatred in Gujin's heart. 02. I sneaked behind Gujin to confirm his home address, and then I ran to the pharmacy to buy medicine for treating wounds and band-aids. I knocked on his door tremblingly. It was an aunt who opened the door. When the aunt saw me, she smiled and pulled me into the house. "Come and have some dumplings." Gujin's home was an old, shabby, and small house. The furnishings were simple, but it was very tidy. Gujin heard the commotion and came out of the bathroom. He was only wearing a pair of jeans and no shirt. The young man had a tall and slender figure. Due to working all year round, there was a layer of beautiful muscles on his body. He was thin but not weak. "What are you doing here?" "This is for you." I pointed at his face. "You need to deal with the wound." "No need. You're not welcome here." Gujin grabbed the back of my collar and lifted me out. The aunt grabbed my arm and said stubbornly, "Have some dumplings." My arm hurt from being grabbed by the aunt. Gujin immediately let go of me, looking a bit irritated. "My mother, if you don't mind, stay for dinner, otherwise, she'll make a fuss for a long time. I happily agreed, and the aunt went to the kitchen to serve the dumplings. Gujin put on his clothes, and the three of us sat together for the meal. Many of the dumplings in the bowl were broken during cooking, the chives, eggs, and flour were mixed together. They didn't look good and were a bit salty. I had lived a life of luxury since I was a child, even when my family went bankrupt later and I was forced to be with Gujin. He had never treated me badly in terms of material things. Such unpalatable dumplings were really hard for me to swallow. However, Gujin ate them with great relish. The aunt stroked his head. Her innocent face was full of kindness. Happy birthday, Xiaojin. Grow up well and be obedient. The coldness in Gujin's eyes dissipated, looking at his mother. His eyes were very gentle. I looked at him and couldn't help but smile. If you can't get used to it, give it to me. You don't have to force yourself. My mother's mind is a bit confused, and she doesn't cook very well. I can eat it. I ate a small half bowl. I really couldn't eat any more, so I quietly pushed the bowl over. He accepted it all and finished it in 2 or 3 bites. Gujin seemed quite easy to get along with at this moment. Taking the opportunity, I said, "My elder brother was too excessive today. I apologize to you on his behalf." Gujin's face immediately turned cold. He is him, and you are you. It has nothing to do with you. So, Gujin is a person who clearly distinguishes between grudges and kindness. He won't take his anger out on me because of my elder brother. Then, later, what exactly did my elder brother do that was so excessive that it made Gujin hate the Zhang family so much? It made Gujin lie low for many years. It wasn't enough to drive my family bankrupt. He also made my father and elder brother get involved in lawsuits, burdened with heavy debts, and with nowhere to make a living. And I was also forcefully possessed by him. Every time I interacted with him, I could feel his overwhelming hatred for the Zhang family. 03. The next day, I got up very early and put the new textbooks in Gujin's desk compartment. When I turned around, I bumped into a hard chest, due to the height difference. I only reached his chest. I was startled and leaned backward. The young man put his arm around my waist. "You got the first place in the exam and still come so early. You're really competitive." I pushed him away in a panic. "I'll go and do some practice questions right away. I definitely won't lose to you next time." Gujin grabbed the back of my collar and glanced at the textbooks. "Thank you." "Okay, you're welcome." I left quickly with an awkward gait, touching my hot cheeks. Why was I blushing? He's just a young lad who hasn't grown up yet. I lay on the desk. It wasn't because of shyness that I blushed. I had a fever. Zhang Baichen is going to mess with Gujin again. He tricked Gujin's foolish mother into coming to the school to collect the garbage. What does Gujin's foolish mother look like? Let's go and take a look. I ran out. There were a lot of people gathered beside the school store. Zhang Baichen threw a soda bottle at the aunt's feet. "Trash picker. Pick it up." The aunt hunched over with a look of fear on her face. She was very scared and made a whimpering sound. When I arrived, I smelled the stench of urine. "Ha ha ha, Brother Chen, you scared her so much that she peed her pants. What bad luck." Zhang Baichen threw another soda bottle at the aunt's feet, and the glass shattered everywhere. "Brother, stop." I rushed to the aunt's side. She was still leaking urine. A group of people surrounded us. Watching the scene, I took off my coat, tied it around her waist, and took her hand. "Auntie, don't be afraid, I'll take you." Bang! Gujin rushed out and kicked Zhang Baichen in the lower back. Zhang Baichen fell onto the broken glass. Gujin's kick was so powerful that Zhang Baichen couldn't stand up for a while. He wasn't a cowardly person. He had endured before just for the sake of studying. On the contrary, Gujin's character was actually a bit crazy. I remembered once when I went to a cocktail party with him. Someone made improper remarks about me. He flew into a rage and broke the person's ribs. At this moment, Gujin's eyes were bloodshot, and there was a fierce aura of a desperate man about him. He picked up the broken bottle and walked towards Zhang Baichen. Zhang Baichen was scared. What are you going to do? What are you all standing there for? He's crazy. Hurry up and stop him for me." No one dared to stop a crazy man who didn't care about his own life. Actually, I was also afraid of him. But I had to stop him. I rushed forward and hugged his waist tightly, burying my face in his chest with my eyes closed. "Gujin, don't." The muscles on his body were tense, and his breathing was heavy. I started crying. "Don't do anything stupid. Take your mother home quickly." I stroked his back, trying to soothe his rampaging soul. Pat. Gujin finally threw away the glass, and blood dripped from his palm. I watched as he supported his mother and walked away until I couldn't see them anymore. In my previous life, this incident didn't happen today. "Brother." Zhang Baichen pushed me away, his eyes sinister. "He's finished." My heart skipped a beat. Clearly, I had stopped my elder brother from courting disaster twice. Why did I have an ominous premonition that our fate hadn't changed and was still sliding towards the predetermined ending? 04. I knocked on Gu Jin's door. He was wearing rubber gloves and washing my coat. The aunt was asleep in the room. I grabbed his wrist and took off the gloves. His hand was simply wrapped with gauze, and it was still bleeding. Are you a masochist? Your hand is like this, and you're still washing clothes. I felt dizzy for a moment and fell into his arms, losing consciousness. When I woke up, it was already getting dark. The lights weren't on in the hospital room. Gu Jin was sitting by the bedside, and his rough palm touched my forehead. My head was burning, and I was so dizzy that I thought I was before my rebirth. Gu Jin hated the Zhang family and only regarded me as a plaything, humiliating my father and elder brother by keeping me as his captive. However, every time I was sick, Gu Jin would be particularly gentle with me. He would patiently feed me medicine and food. Like a male nanny, patients are always delicate, so I took the initiative to hug his neck and acted coquettishly. I feel so uncomfortable. Hug me. After a long while, his voice was hoarse. Zhang Huan, I'm Gu Jin. Then, I woke up completely. I let go of him, feeling so embarrassed that my toes curled up. I actually mistook the young Gu Jin for Mr. Gu. Gu Jin turned on the light. Thinking about how I had just acted coquettishly in a very soft voice towards a young man I wasn't very familiar with, I really didn't know where to put my face. Gu Jin had no expression on his face, but his ears were so red that they seemed to be bleeding. In my previous life, no matter how intense our arguments were, he rarely showed any expression. The sign to tell whether he was happy or not was whether his ears were red enough. I covered my face. What are you thinking about? Don't think nonsense. Okay, I won't. 05. After my fever subsided, I rested at home for half a day and didn't go to school until the afternoon. As soon as I entered the classroom, my deskmate, Zhao Xiaoxing, gossiped with me that Gu Jin you hate so much was caught stealing the class funds. There were two rumors in her words. First, I don't hate him, I want to please him. Second, Gu Jin wouldn't steal money. I remembered that in my previous life, there was indeed this incident of Gu Jin stealing the class funds. At that time, I went to the teacher's office to hand in my homework. His homeroom teacher slapped the table. Gu Jin, you've really disappointed me. I know your family is poor, but you can't steal money. You have talent but no virtue. You'll be a scourge in society even if you have abilities. The girl beside them, who should be the class life committee member, chimed in. That's right, if you don't have money, you can tell us. We can donate money to help you. You really didn't have to steal. Gu Jin stood straight, his thin lips tightly pursed, with a look of contempt and indifference on his face. I despised him in my heart. What was the use of getting better grades than me? Without good character, he was nothing. Suddenly, Gu Jin saw me, and his face changed drastically. He strode up to me. It's not like this. I didn't steal. I didn't want to pay attention to him and turned around to leave. Gu Jin went crazy and grabbed my arm with great strength. The injury on my arm hadn't healed yet, and I struggled. Whether you stole or not has nothing to do with me. Let me go. The teacher came over to pull him away, but he held on tighter and just wouldn't let go. Gu Jin fell into a state of paranoia. He stared at me intently, his eyes red. Zhang Huan, what on earth do I have to do for you to believe me? I really didn't steal the money. I didn't understand. Why was Gu Jin so persistent in wanting me to believe him? I didn't even really know him. I was almost scared to tears and said timidly, I believe you. Let go quickly. It hurts so much where you're holding me. Finally, he let go. In my previous life, the disciplinary action result was that Gu Jin received a warning for the demerit. 06. Remembering Gu Jin's almost desperate look at that time, my heart ached. I immediately went to find Gu Jin and met my annoying brother in the corridor. Zhang Baichen had his arm around a girl, who was the class life committee member of Gu Jin's class. Huan, this is your new sister-in-law. After Zhang Baichen left, I smiled at the girl. Tell me quickly, how did you help my brother mess with Gu Jin? The girl wanted to curry favor with me and said proudly, I put the class funds in his desk compartment, and then I pretended that the class funds were missing. We searched the desk compartments one by one, and we caught him red-handed. Sure enough, Gu Jin was framed by my elder brother. I took out my phone and waved it in front of the girl. I just recorded it. You have 10 minutes to confess to the teacher. Otherwise, I'll play this recording on a loop at the school radio station. Your elder brother told me to do this. Why are you helping an outsider? I imitated Mr. Gu's expression and said coldly, you still have 9 minutes and 40 seconds. The girl looked panicked and ran towards the teacher's office. Actually, I didn't record it just now. I was bluffing her. During the second class break, the news spread. The class life committee member of Gu Jin's class went to the teacher and said that the class funds had been found. The money in Gu Jin's desk compartment was his own, and they had misunderstood him before. Zhang Baichen called me to the rooftop. Zhang Yihuan, are you crazy? If he hadn't taken your first place, would you have been beaten by Dad? I was avenging you. But why are you siding with an outsider? I let out a sigh and said, it's my dad's psychological problem that he hit me. What does it have to do with Gu Jin? You're the mastermind behind framing him for stealing money. By handling it this way, I'm already showing partiality to protect you. Zhang Baichen, don't bully a young man just because he's poor. If you bully him now, he will take revenge on us in the future. Zhang Baichen looked unconvincing and said, just him. As things stand now, Zhang Baichen's intention to torment Gu Jin is no longer to avenge me. Violence is like a drug addiction. Once it starts, there will be no bottom line. Give me your phone. Zhang Baichen took my phone, threw it against the wall, and stomped on it twice with force. Don't interfere next time I deal with him. In my previous life, I went abroad to study before finishing my senior year of high school. So, I don't know how Zhang Baichen plotted against Gu Jin later. 07. The wall of the rooftop was curved, blocking the view. After Zhang Baichen left, Gu Jin came out from the other side of the rooftop. I was stunned. Had he heard everything just now? Gu Jin rolled up my sleeves. The higher he rolled, the denser the scars became. My skin was very fair, making the scars look even more ferocious. Besides your arm, where else do you have injuries on your body? He only hit my arm. I want to dance. And my dad was afraid that others would see the injuries. I looked into Gu Jin's eyes. His eyes were red, and there were tears in them. Mr. Gu, aren't you going to cry? Then, Gu Jin pressed my head against his chest and hugged me. Does your dad often hit you? I evaded his question and said brightly, I'm not the same person I used to be. If he hits me, I will fight back. I'll call the police or tell the elders in our clan. And he definitely won't dare to do it again. When I was young, I didn't dare to resist because I was afraid that my dad would abandon me if I did. But now, my soul is already 28 years old. I'm no longer afraid of patriarchal power and know how to fight back. There's a third option. The young man's tears dripped onto my neck, which was enough to shock me for a long time. Tell me, and I'll beat him up. Hitting people is against the law, then let it be against the law. I smiled and stroked his back, touched by the young man's enthusiasm. 08. Gu Jin picked up the broken phone. I'll fix it for you. Can you fix it even though it's broken like this? Yeah. After school, Gu Jin and I went home together. He took out a toolbox and fixed my phone for me. He had all the necessary parts. He soldered the circuit board and even replaced the display screen with a new one for me. You're so amazing. It's not difficult. I learned phone repair to earn money. Besides going to school, Gu Jin also had to earn money to support his family. Then how much should I pay you, Master Gu? I won't charge you. Then I invite you to watch me dance. I'm going to participate in a dance competition next Saturday. Will you come? Yes. 09. The dance competition was held in the Opera House. To my surprise, I saw Qin Zishu in the first row of the audience. In my previous life, we met when our two families had a dinner together. In this life, the time of our first encounter was advanced, and the scene was also different. Memories of my previous life came flooding back. Qin Zishu at the age of 18 loved me very much and followed me to study abroad. He courted me very romantically for a year, and we got together naturally. However, the good times didn't last long. In the third year of our relationship, he cheated on me. After I exposed him, he said, I just can't manage to love only you. It's not that I don't love you anymore. You will always be Mrs. Qin. What are you still fussing about? I broke up with him decisively, feeling that I had wasted 3 years of my youth. When I saw Qin Zishu at the age of 18 again, I felt physically uncomfortable, and my hands and feet turned cold. Gu Jin supported me. He followed my gaze but didn't ask anything. Instead, he helped me to the backstage. Gu Jin poured me a cup of hot water. Do you feel better? Yeah, I'm already okay. You can go and sit in the audience. I'm about to go on stage. I changed into my dance clothes and walked onto the stage. Gu Jin sat in the back row, hidden in the light and shadow, but I still saw him at a glance. I smiled at him and somehow felt at ease. Dance, I want to win. When the music started, I forgot all the entanglements of my previous and present lives, focused on the world of dance, and showed off my beauty. As soon as the dance ended, there was thunderous applause. The chandelier in the opera house lit up. I looked at Gu Jin, and we looked at each other from a distance, with my eyes misty with tears. Gu Jin was stunned and frowned as he looked at me. The audience thought that I was crying because I was so immersed in the dance and moved by the story of the dance music. In fact, I was crying out of joy. this dance was dedicated to Gu Jin. I wanted him to see how beautiful I was in my teenage years. In my previous life, he never saw me dance even once. He really missed out. I was very excited right after the dance. I heard the obsession buried deep in my heart. Gu Jin, how can you not love me? I don't want to be your canary. I don't want to be a little thing for you to satisfy your physical needs. I want to be your white moonlight, making you respect and love me, but reluctant to touch me. I also want to be a seductive fairy who bewitches you, possessing all your desires and making you unable to leave me, never be able to leave me, after being reborn. It's true that I want to stop Zhang Baichen from courting disaster, and it's true that I want to protect Gu Jin, but I'm like a ghost. I made a wish to the gods to ease the resentment in my heart. What the soul in this teenage body truly wants is to have all of the love of my previous life's lover. 10. I won the first place. Qin Zishu, as the representative of the sponsor, came onto the stage to present the award to me. Yuri Huan, right, Uncle Zhang recently asked my father for investment. And our two families will have more interactions in the future. Qin Zishu took out his phone, looking determined. Is it convenient for you to give me your phone number? Scumbag, go away, go away, go away. It's not convenient. I don't want to get to know you. I saw Gu Jin walking to the side of the stage, like a little crazy person. I directly jumped off the stage. Gu Jin's eyes showed panic, but he caught me firmly. I wrapped my arms around his neck. Mr. Gu, was my dance look good? His heart was pounding like a drum, his ears were red as if they were bleeding, and he looked at me without blinking. It was beautiful. My dance dress was a backless one, made of thin fabric, which showed off my figure very well. Gu Jin took off his black hoodie and put it on me. He pulled the zipper up high, almost choking me. Gu Jin looked at Qin Zishu on the stage, tilted his head, and his eyes were fierce and wild, just like a little wolf dog. 11. On the way back, I was in an excited state all the time. Yihuan, let me treat you to a meal to celebrate your award. Okay, what do you want to eat? Barbecued meat. Let's bring Auntie with us. The three of us sat in a barbecue restaurant. Gu Jin was busy grilling the meat and feeding me and his mother. Under the table, my knee was touching his knee. Gu Jin's ears became redder and redder, and he looked at me thoughtfully. I wrapped a large piece of streaky pork with lettuce. My mouth was stuffed like a little hamster, looking like an innocent and ignorant teenage girl. Auntie ate very gracefully, judging from her eyebrows and eyes. She must have been a beauty when she was young. That's why she gave birth to such a handsome son as Gu Jin. Auntie, do you remember who I am? Auntie smiled shyly and said seriously. You're Xiaojin's wife. Cough cough cough. Get married on the spot. Xiaojin likes you very much, Auntie said and took out a ring to put it on my finger. My Xiaojin is a stubborn child. Once he likes someone, he will never change his heart. You two should live a good life together. I looked at the huge plastic ring on my ring finger. Was this a toy for children to play with? Mom, she's not my wife. She's my classmate, Zhang Yihuan. Gu Jin looked up at me and coughed dryly. Don't mind. My mom is just speaking without thinking. I took a sip of water tactically. Auntie is very cute. Suddenly, I remembered that Auntie passed away from illness very early, so I reminded him, as people get older, their bodies are more prone to problems. You should take Auntie for regular medical checkups. Gu Jin took it to heart and nodded in agreement. 12. My annoying brother and I are fraternal twins, and we celebrate our birthdays together every year. Zhang Baichen held a birthday party and invited a group of friends to come and have fun. I wore a beautiful dress and put on a light makeup. When I walked into the private room, I saw Qin Zishu. Zhang Baichen put his arm around Qin Zishu's shoulder. Huan, young Master Qin arranged this birthday party for you. Do you like it? The room was filled with roses, decorated in a dreamy and romantic way. Qin Zishu walked up to me with an exquisite jewelry box. Huan, happy birthday. This is a gift for you. Open it and take a look. If I had known he was coming, I wouldn't have come. It's so annoying. Everyone cheered and clapped, and the atmosphere was warm and ambiguous. I was about to pick up the fruit wine on the table and pour it on him. At this moment, Gu Jin walked in carrying a fruit plate. It turned out that Gu Jin was working here. Zhang Baichen deliberately chose this place to hold the birthday party and continued to test the limits of courting disaster. Yo! Isn't this the top student Gu? You're serving dishes here. The wealthy young men around burst into laughter, acting as superior onlookers. How much money can you earn a day by serving dishes? Zhang Baichen took out a stack of 100 yuan bills and threw them at Gu Jin. It's my birthday today. If you serve me well and make me happy, all this money will be yours. My fists clenched, and I laughed out of extreme anger. No, I'm very satisfied with him. He belongs to me tonight. In front of everyone with their jaws dropped in surprise, I grabbed Gu Jin's hand and walked angrily to the lobby. My brother is brainless. Don't take it to heart. I patted his shoulder. The young man looked quite handsome in a suit, with his broad shoulders, narrow waist, and long legs. He had a bit of the air of Mr. Gu, the gentle scoundrel. Okay, you can go and get back to work, I'm leaving. Gu Jin grabbed my wrist, tore off his bow tie, and bent down to smile at me. That smile was really beautiful, with a bit of a cute and naughty look. Yihuan, I belong to you tonight. Me, was he serious? I thought Gu Jin would do something fancy, but he took me to buy groceries and then cooked for me at home. Why do you look so disappointed? All the high-quality ingredients on this table cost him 1,000 yuan, even considering the price level 10 years later. Spending 1,000 yuan on a meal is still very luxurious. I picked up the tenderest piece of meat from the East Star grouper and gave it to Auntie. I just think you're selling yourself a bit short. I'm willing to. After the meal, Gu Jin took out a cake and carefully inserted the candles. Auntie was like a child and clapped happily. Happy birthday, daughter-in-law. Early, Gu Jin quickly covered Auntie's mouth. Make a wish, have a baby soon. Auntie, you really are something. I closed my eyes and made a wish, he said. Zhang Yihuan. Happy 18th birthday. I wished that every year in the future, Gu Jin would accompany Zhang Yihuan to celebrate her birthday. 13. The next day, I heard that there would be a basketball-friendly match between No. 1 Middle School and Jialan High School. Gu Jin participated in it, so I signed up for the cheerleading team. Zhao Xiaoxing was in charge of organizing the cheerleading team. The cheerleading uniforms she prepared were miniskirts paired with tight short-sleeved tops. When we got on the coach, all the players were in an uproar. I saw that the seat next to Gu Jin was empty, so I sat beside him. Gu Jin was wearing headphones, leaning his head back against the seat and resting with his eyes closed. His jawline was smooth, his Adam's apple was prominent, and he was wearing a basketball jersey. The muscle lines on his arms were strong, exuding a youthful and sexy charm. I poked the back of his hand. Can you share one of your earphones with me? Gu Jin opened his eyes and looked at me. His gaze lingered on my chest for a moment and then quickly moved away. He took off his earphones and handed them to me. I leaned close to his ear and joked, I'm dressed in a spicy girl style today. Does it look good? Gu Jin closed his eyes and ignored me, but his ears turned red. It was familiar jazz music. His taste hadn't changed over the years. In the lazy singing, memories welled up in my heart. In the villa, the man held me and kissed me passionately. Are you in a good mood today? Gu Jin touched the back of my neck. Not bad. Then, can I ask you for a favor? Go ahead. My brother was tricked by his friend and owes 3 million yuan in usury. My dad was so angry about this that he got sick. Can you help my brother? Gu Jin immediately turned cold, let go of me, and got up to put on his clothes. Seeing that he was about to leave, I got out of bed barefoot. My brother bullied you, and he was in the wrong. You've already taken your revenge. Can't you spare him a way out? Gu Jin picked me up in his arms and let out a tired sigh. Yihuan, for your sake, I've already spared them a way out. The man kissed away my tears. Don't cry, it's just 3 million yuan. This is the last time. I was very happy and took the initiative once, but when I woke up in the middle of the night, Gu Jin wasn't by my side. I went downstairs in my pajamas. Gu Jin was sitting in the living room drinking. In the huge living room, he looked even more lonely. There was hatred and pain on Gu Jin's face. He clenched the wine glass tightly. The blue veins on his hand were throbbing. With a crisp sound, the wine glass shattered, and his hand was bleeding, but he didn't seem to care. As if he had found an outlet to release his pain, he picked up the broken glass and made a cut on his arm. It turned out that helping my brother made him so painful. I covered my mouth, hid behind the staircase railing, and tears streamed down my face. Do you get carsick? I came back to my senses and met the young man's concerned gaze. My face must have been very pale. Gu Jin unscrewed a bottle of mineral water and handed it to me. If you feel really uncomfortable, you can lean on my shoulder. I leaned on his shoulder, and the knot in my heart quickly dissipated. 14. Jialan High School is a prestigious school, and the facilities of the basketball court are very advanced. The stadium was filled with students. As the host, Jialan High School had a great home court advantage. Qin Zishu was the captain of the Jialan High School basketball team, and he was also the school heartthrob. All the girls in the stadium were shouting his name. Qin Zishu saw me and ran up to me. Huan Huan, you look really beautiful today. Don't call me Huan Huan, I'm not familiar with you. Qin Zishu grabbed my arm. Do you have some misunderstanding about me? Gu Jin pried Qin Zishu's hand away and said coldly, don't touch girls inappropriately. She said she's not familiar with you. Qin Zishu walked away with a face. Before the game started, the cheerleading team went onto the court to perform a cheerleading routine. Who is that girl leading the exercise in No. 1 Middle School? She's so pretty. She's Zhang Yihuan. The school beauty of No. 1 middle school. She's so cute. Ah, she looked at me. Baby Juan, brother loves you. After I finished the cheerleading routine and went off the court, Gu Jin and his team came on. When we passed by each other, I said to Gu Jin, come on, okay, Zhao Xiaoxing said excitedly, when you were doing the cheerleading, everyone was fascinated by you, did you see that? The cheerleaders from Jialan High School were so angry that their noses were almost crooked. I looked at the cheerleading team of Jialan High School. Sure enough, those girls were glaring at me with malicious eyes. I didn't care and focused on watching Gu Jin play basketball. Damn, is Gu Jin this fierce? His playing style is so aggressive. Qin Zishu can't even touch the ball. He has such good physical strength. I just realized today that Gu Jin is so handsome. Listening to others' praises of Gu Jin, I felt proud. He is indeed excellent. When the game ended, we won. Gu Jin became the top scorer of the game. His teammates surrounded him and regarded him as a hero. The young man I love should be this dazzling. I really wanted to rush up, hug him tightly, and kiss him hard. 15. We had finished the water we brought, and Zhao Xiaoxing asked me to go buy water with her. When we reached the grocery store, we were blocked by those girls from the cheerleading team of Jialan High School. Zhang Yihuan, you seem very proud today. I protected Xiaoxing behind me and said, a good dog doesn't block the way, move aside. They pushed me to the ground, and the leading girl poured milk on my face. Look at your, Senior Qin has been seduced by you. You dare to call us dogs. Come on, make a dog's bark and let us hear it. I was stunned and thought of Gu Jin. So this was what it felt like to be bullied, feeling ashamed, angry, and helpless. The girl raised her hand to slap me. A slender hand with well-defined joints grabbed her wrist. Gu Jin's eyes were red, and he restrained himself, shaking off the girl. Scram, the girls were scared away by him. My chest was soaked with milk, and I was a bit exposed. Gu Jin took off his basketball jersey and put it on me. Can you stand up? Yeah, Gu Jin helped me stand up. Gritting his teeth, he cursed. I imitated him and also cursed. Gu Jin was stunned and finally smiled. He went to buy water and a towel and gently wiped my face and hair. Zhao Xiaoxing stood there dumbfounded, looking shocked throughout. Back in the classroom, Zhao Xiaoxing asked 3 consecutive questions. Didn't you hate Gu Jin? When did you two get so close? The way he looks at you, is it what I think it is? I grasped the key point. What's wrong with the way he looks at me, like melted cheese? Me, it's so affectionate. The corners of my mouth turned up, but the way I looked at him wasn't innocent either. 16. When I got home, I saw Qin Zishu and his parents. In my previous life, we just met for the first time today. During the dinner, when it came to the matter of me going to study at Berkeley College of Music, Qin Zishu immediately said that he also had a plan to study abroad. In my previous life, I had already experienced studying abroad, and there was no need to do it again. In this life, I want to go to university with Gu Jin. After the Qin family left, I began to persuade Zhang Jianming, Dad, many people in China don't know much about prestigious foreign universities. If we go to study abroad without taking the college entrance examination, others will think we got in with money. It's not as prestigious as getting into Tsinghua University or Peking University. Zhang Jianming cared most about face. He thought for a moment. If you can really get into Tsinghua University or Peking University, then go and study there. After all, Tsinghua University and Peking University are also quite good. However, a rumor spread in the school that the school heartthrob of Jialan High School was chasing the school beauty of No. 1 middle school, and he wanted to go to study in country M with me. I was too lazy to pay attention to Qin Zishu. Let him go to study abroad by himself. My attention was all on Gu Jin. 17. During the summer vacation of senior year of high school, Gu Jin started his first business venture. With the money he had saved from working part-time in the past few years, he established an electronics factory, hired 7 or 8 workers, and took on outsourcing orders for mobile phone refurbishment. This year had the same historical background as the movie Nice View. Smartphones hadn't been popularized yet, and refurbished phones with affordable prices had a good market. Each era has different opportunities. Gu Jin has a keen business sense. Later, he also caught up with the internet boom and became a business tycoon in just a few years. Gu Jin received a large order, and after completing it, he could make a profit of 200,000 yuan. He worked overtime with the workers. Even after the workers got off work, he was still working overtime, and his eyes were bloodshot from exhaustion. Gu Jin, pay attention to taking a rest. Don't wear yourself out, Yihuan. I'm really too poor. I want to make money, a lot of money. You can make money gradually. He looked at me with an enigmatic gaze. No, I can't be any slower. I just felt. Presumably, he had endured a lot of hardships along the way. I raised my hand and touched the back of the young man's neck. Gu Jin, in the future, you will achieve success and fame, and you will get everything you want, so, don't push yourself too hard. Okay, I will. Although Gu Jin promised me, he still went his own way and worked overtime, staying up late. Finally, Gu Jin completed the order on schedule. 18. On the day of delivery, Gu Jin called me. Yihuan, yeah, I will have money. And I will become someone worthy of you. Gu Jin's voice even had a hint of a sob, yet it was extremely firm. Yihuan, please wait for me a little longer. Okay. Somehow, I suddenly remembered the scene of the last time I went to school in my previous life. After I finished my business, I was walking out. It was raining at that time. Suddenly, Gu Jin ran out in the rain. Are you leaving? Yeah. I gripped the strap of my school bag tightly, really afraid that he would go crazy again. Then, will you come back? Perhaps because I was about to leave my hometown, I felt a bit more sentimental, and my attitude towards him became a little better. I walked closer to him and held an umbrella for him. Under the same umbrella, I looked up at him. The raindrops dripped down along his chin. The young man's expression was indifferent, but his eyes were so sad. Of course I will come back. How many years? In how many years will you come back? 3 years, 5 years, it's not certain. At this moment, Zhang Chenbai called me. Huan, what are you wasting your breath on with this lunatic? Let's go. I smiled at Gu Jin and stuffed the umbrella into his hand. Gu Jin, I wish you success in the college entrance examination. Goodbye. The memory stopped abruptly. A flash of inspiration came to my mind. Perhaps, in my previous life, Gu Jin had liked me. That's why when he was framed for stealing money, he was so persistent in seeking my trust. That's why when I went to study abroad, he looked so sad. And at that time, influenced by my elder brother, I really hated him. Remembering the recent rumor in school that I was going to study abroad with Qin Zixu, was there also such a rumor in my previous life? So from his perspective, did he think I was going to study abroad with the person I liked? Gu Jin, so you worked so hard to make money, besides wanting to give Auntie a better life. Was I also a factor? Because my family is rich, you felt inferior and thought you needed to make a lot of money to be worthy of me. There was silence on the other end of the phone. I pressed on. Gu Jin, answer me. Yes, I smiled with misty eyes. Silly. I'm not going to study abroad with Qin Zixu. I'm not going to study abroad anymore. This time, let's take the college entrance examination and get into Tsinghua University or Peking University together. After saying that, I quickly hung up the phone. My heart was pounding like a drum, and my cheeks were burning hot. Anyway, this counts as my confession first. 19. I went downstairs, planning to have a glass of ice water to calm down. Xiao Chen, I heard that there's a young lad named Gu Jin who took your company's order. I'd like to ask you to cancel the order. Ha ha ha, okay. We can talk about that project you mentioned last time again. My dad hung up the phone, and my elder brother said proudly, Dad, you really have a way. This time, Dad avenged you. Learn from this in the future. Only barbarians solve problems by fighting. I clenched my fists. I never expected that my dad would help my elder brother deal with a high school student. I quietly went upstairs and called Gu Jin. But the phone couldn't get through anymore. When I rushed to the factory, Gu Jin wasn't there. As if that wasn't enough, at this very moment, something happened to Auntie. She fell down and had a cerebral hemorrhage. She urgently needed 100,000 yuan for the surgery. So, in my previous life, my dad and my elder brother messed up Gu Jin's order, making him unable to afford the surgery fee and causing Auntie's death. No wonder, Gu Jin hated the Zhang family so much. No wonder, when I asked him to take out 3 million yuan to help my elder brother pay off the usury, he was in so much pain. Back then, it was my father and elder brother who made him unable to even afford 100,000 yuan and made him watch helplessly as his mother died on the sickbed. This time is different. This time, he has me. I will definitely turn this situation around and change all of this. 20. I rushed to the hospital that the worker mentioned and met Gu Jin at the payment counter. He was calling Boss Chen. Boss Chen, all my goods have passed the inspection. Why did you break the contract? The other party could get greater benefits from my dad, so they must have said some unpleasant words. Gu Jin frowned. At this moment, he was willing to kneel to anyone. How about this? As long as you give me 100,000 yuan, you can take all these goods away. Even with such a concession, Boss Chen still hung up the phone. My mom passed away when I was very young. She left me a sum of inheritance, which I could freely dispose of when I turned 18. I paid the surgery fee for Auntie. Gu Jin watched me pay the fee without saying a word. Outside the operating room, Gu Jin stood there looking extremely tired. Yihuan, thank you. I will pay this money back as soon as possible. I hugged him tightly and stroked his back. Xiao Jin, don't be afraid, Auntie will be okay. Gu Jin froze. And then he hugged me and buried his face in my neck. He kept shaking. He was really afraid that his mother would die, in my previous life. When he faced all this alone, how desperate must he have been? 7 hours later, the surgery was over, the doctor said. The surgery was a success, and the patient is out of danger. The huge stone in my heart finally dropped. In this life, there is no deep-seated hatred between us, and he can finally love me wholeheartedly. 21. After many years, I have become Mrs. Gu. Back then, after Auntie recovered, I told Gu Jin what my father and elder brother had done. Gu Jin, through his own efforts, visited many companies and finally sold that batch of goods. I was completely disappointed in my father and elder brother and chose to live on campus. When the college entrance examination results came out, Gu Jin and I were both admitted to Tsinghua University or Peking University. Gu Jin built his fortune following the path of his previous life and became a business tycoon. We became the most envied couple among our classmates, going from school uniforms to wedding dresses. Zhao Xiaoxing was playing with my twin sons and teasing, Huan Huan. Why are you pregnant again? Are you the type who can get pregnant just by being looked at by Mr. Gu? Actually, he was afraid that I would be in pain and didn't want me to have a second child, but I really want a daughter. So, I used a little trick, hee. Zhao Xiaoxing gave me a thumbs up. Can you believe it? The soft and cute school beauty Zhang in high school is so bold after marriage. That's right. Living 2 lifetimes isn't for nothing. Stay overnight tonight. Let's sleep together. Zhao Xiaoxing crossed her hands and refused. No way. Last time I slept at your place for 1 night, the way Mr. Gu looked at me clearly showed that he wanted to kill me. I laughed. Mr. Gu is a bit clingy. After my best friend left, my mother-in-law came back riding a tricycle. Over the years, my mother-in-law has always liked picking up trash. Aluminum cans and cardboard boxes are her favorites. I was worried about her, so I hired someone to accompany her when she picked up trash. Today, she had a great harvest and was stepping on aluminum cans in the courtyard of the villa. Our 3-year-old twin sons like stepping on aluminum cans the most. My mother-in-law and the children were having a great time. I wanted to help, but she immediately stopped me and pointed at my belly. There's a baby in there, daughter-in-law. Take a rest. My mother-in-law's mental state is similar to that of a 6 or 7-year-old child, and she can really play well with the children. I sat on the deck chair and watched them having fun. I felt a sense of contentment as if time was passing peacefully. 22. The doorbell rang, and my dad and my elder brother came. Recently, the Zhang Corporation, due to poor management, had its capital chain broken. They came to ask for money. I had already given them all the inheritance my mom left me, but it was still just a drop in the bucket and couldn't fill such a huge gap. When I saw them coming, I immediately asked the nanny to take my mother-in-law and the children inside. Zhang Jianming said dissatisfiedly, I came to see my grandchildren. As soon as I arrived, you asked someone to take the children away. What do you mean? If you just came to see the children, of course I would let you see them. I've given you all my money. If you came to ask for money, there's not a penny left. Zhang Baichen snorted coldly. Gu Jin is so rich. What's wrong with him helping the company? He doesn't owe you anything. Back then, you messed up his order and made him unable to afford the surgery fee. You almost killed his mother. Why should he help you? They had already killed her once. Seeing that I was emotional, my father and elder brother were afraid that I would get too worked up and harm the baby, so they left. Gu Jin's body visibly stiffened, and the ferocity on his face hadn't faded away, but he finally stopped. Just, Yihuan, why are you crying? Gu Jin came back. He squatted in front of me and wiped my tears. Is the baby making you uncomfortable? I pouted and hugged his neck. No, it's just, I suddenly missed you so much. Gu Jin sighed and said seriously. Then I'll take paternity leave. I don't want to go to work for even a single day anymore. I burst into laughter through my tears. Gu Jin is so smart that nothing can be hidden from him. At night, my elder brother sent me a message. Huan Huan, Gu Jin said he will help us this time, and it will also be the last time he helps us. Huan Huan, brother knows he was wrong. It was my fault back then. Others all say that Gu Jin has a stubborn character and an even harder heart, but as soon as I cry, he softens his heart. Gu Jin brought me a glass of warm milk from downstairs and watched me drink it with a loving expression. He really is like a male nanny. Husband, when did you start liking me? At the opening ceremony of Senior 1, when you gave a speech as a freshman representative on the stage. Wife, I fell in love with you at first sight. It turns out that in both lifetimes, he has always loved me, only me.